What a day. What a day. Sorry here.
Yeah.
What a day. Yo, do you ever fuck with VR or no?
You know what? I really never got into VR. I actually bought a headset for my daughter for her birthday, but I've never gotten into it myself. She
I've
plays
been
though.
messing with it, man. I've been messing with it. They just
Yeah,
dropped a new boxing game that's pretty fun. A
nice,
lot of meme quality.
nice,
A lot of meme. A lot of people doing multiplayer, pointing out into the crowd, like, "Oh, look over there," and then they fucking look, and then they knock you out.
nice.
It's fucking funny, dude. Alrighty, man. Let's get it. Let's fucking get it.
What type of game?
And what is up? Welcome back. It's another Sunday night here with the Average Boys podcast. It's your boy Crispy, and I am joined here with the man with the most, Brian D from New Jersey. Brian, how's it going,
Yes,
bro?
sir. Everything's great, bro.
Yeah.
I really cannot complain, man. Been a great weekend, great week. Yeah, happy to be here talking some nerd shit, bro. How are you?
Well, everything's good. I mean, yeah, a little bit of like life shit hit us, fucking our mobile home park that we live in, the fucking water, they broke a water main, so the water's been out for a couple days, and
Yikes.
just been trying to deal with it. They're gonna hopefully fix it by Monday. Derpy, what's up in the comment section? Good to see you, my man. I'm sorry we missed you last week. We were not available. A lot of stuff just happened last week that we were just a lot busy. Everybody was just taken, but we're here today, which is good, but happy to see it. Jersey, you say? How about them Jets? Derpy in the comment section. Brian, that's a Jersey comment. I have no
Oh yeah,
idea.
I'm not a Jets fan. I am a Cowboys fan. So fuck the Jets.
Yeah. Texas in the heart.
Yes,
Texas
sir.
in the heart. Yo, so how's Jersey, man? How you guys doing over there right now, man?
I mean, we're good. Weather sucks. It's cold as shit, windy as shit. We got a bunch of fucking masked guys running around New York just shooting people with 22s and shit.
Dude, I heard what the hell, dude. We were talking about in the chat earlier, and I was saying like, what a weird time that we live in. That's like, that's like a headline in news. Like, masked man with silenced pistol shoots like a big pharma guy and then runs off into the distance. Was it Central Park? He ran into Central Park and dropped his bag. And dude, I mean, that's like a James Bond movie to me. Like that's completely wild.
I think they
Like
got him. They got him today.
they caught him.
Yeah.
Oh
Or
shit.
they're saying that it's a person of interest. They got somebody that looks like him.
Well, I mean, they had so much that they were working with, right? Like, what was it? They had like almost like a full on head shot of him, like in his hoodie. Like they got. I mean, cameras nowadays are like all over the place, so you're not really gonna run nowhere where no one's not gonna see you doing stuff, right?
Yeah.
They tracked his ass all the way to the bus station, but how did it feel? Like, I know you're not too far from like the New York area from where you're at. Like, was there was everybody kind of like a high end, or is this kind of like something that people are like, oh fuck it, like it's a Tuesday here.
Yeah, I mean, people get shot every day over here, unfortunately. It just so happens that it just happened to be the CEO of one of the biggest
Pharma,
health
health
insurance
insurance things.
cases. Yeah, so like that's what it is. And the way that it happened, it looked like a professional hit, which I have to disagree. I don't think it was a professional hit whatsoever. Uh the guy actually used a fake New Jersey license, which how you're getting off a fake New Jersey license these days is it's kind of weird to me. Unless
Kind of
you just
weird, right?
yeah, but hey, I mean, I guess the fact that they have somebody again, just to put it out there, I don't know for a fact if it's the real person, but they do have somebody that they want to question about it, and it seems to be leading in the direction that it was that guy. So hopefully we get some answers. You know, condolences to the guy Brian Thompson, I think his name is,
Yeah.
to his family and all that stuff. But yeah, hopefully we can get some answers to why the guy. And the crazy part is that he did this in the middle in Midtown, which is cameras and people
everywhere.
galore. So it's like, yeah, that was brazen. That took some balls. So
And it's
hopefully
it's
we
in
can
a
get some
busy part of
answers.
town also, no?
Well, New York just in general is
It's
always
always
busy.
busy.
It's always busy. Even if it isn't busy, it's probably per uh block the most cameras in any given block in the world. So it's like for you to do that in Midtown is kind of wild. And for the fact that it took you days to get caught is another uh
Another fucking
feat in itself, bro.
yeah, I was talking about that the other day, and I was like, in a modern time that we're in right now, like everything is streamed online in some way. So for you to try to pull some kind of like I guess they're calling it an assassination attempt or a hit or whatever, like in broad daylight in one of the most busiest areas in the world, most populated areas, like there was no way that I thought this guy would last this long out there. Like I figured they would have busted him like hours later, man, like hours later. But it's been what 2 days, 3 days already,
It's been a
or
few days. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's
been a
been a
few
few days,
days.
man. But
I'm interested to find out where they got him. If they got him anywhere near New York, then I mean, that would just be stupid. He should have
yeah,
been the furthest away from New York as possible. So I don't know. We'll
true
see.
that, and that's because I believe like when I was watching it, of course, like when it was popping off, like I think the last part that they had gotten him to, like he did reach a bus station, or that's where they were talking about that he had gone to at the very end of the thing. Like he instantly like from Central Park like booked it all the way to like a bus station from what they were saying in the news. But I mean, yeah, if they busted him in New York, that'd be fucking wild. Um, other than that, like when it comes to that situation, like what else have you heard, man? I was just talking about this uh
I haven't been keeping
on
track
about
of it. It's not. I really don't care, to be honest with you. It's just something that happened.
yeah.
But I haven't been keeping tabs on it every day. It's not like I have a lot of the shit going on right now, so I am not paying that close of attention to it. I just give you just the main details, and like I said, I saw online today or just maybe like an hour ago that they
That
got
they
him.
caught
So
him or they caught someone. Um, well, what I was saying in the before we started in the intro that I've been kind of fucking with my Quest 2 again, kind of jumping in VR and doing stuff. I
yeah,
remember I
yeah,
was telling
yeah.
you guys that I'm a real big fan of like cinema, of course, man, because this is what we do here on the podcast. But there's a really cool program on the Quest VR, and I think it's on other stuff too. It's in anything in the Quest store. So if you have any of the different quests or whatever, like
Hmm.
it's called Big Screen. Like that's literally what it's called. It's just called Big Screen,
Okay,
and it's just an app that anyone can host watching a film. Like that's
okay,
literally so. Like, let's say you have a virtual desktop connected to your Quest, and you have just a plethora of movies that you have that are digital copies. You can play those in big screen. So if you have like the entire Star Wars trilogy or like the old school ones, like you can put them on the big screen and just enjoy like if you were at a theater
okay, okay,
or in anyone else's environment that they choose to host it in. Because it
okay,
goes to like rooms, balconies overlooking like a cityscape. Like, there's just a bunch of
okay.
different environments. And it's really good. It's great. I love it. Um, but in some of those on the weekends and usually during the week, people will just host rooms just to debate. So
Okay.
people will just jump in and just talk to each other and like this. I jumped in one the other day that was called like Chill and Whiskey, and people were just chatting, playing VR and drinking at home and just
Okay.
talking about stuff. And I was on last night and people were conversing about that, and there was a large amount of people in that group that were almost like praising this guy for what he did
For murdering somebody?
for murdering somebody. And for me, that's the first thing that popped up. I was like, what are you guys doing? Like, why would you promote what this guy's doing because of the fact that like the next statute of limitation is going to be even lower when someone feels that someone needs to be murdered or whatnot. But like, I don't, I don't quite comprehend yet as to why people are kind of like cheering on this guy. Have you gotten any kind of like in your environment and your people and your kind of like in your circle of friends or whatever, has anybody talked about it in that kind of nature where people are like, nah, well, fuck big pharma and fuck that dude because he's banged millions of people or fucked them over or whatever? Like,
Again, I it's not something that comes up in topic. It's just something that happens over here, and it's sad to say that over here, it's just people this is again the only reason why this got the coverage it did is because of the person that died. I can't speak for the guy. Yeah, I
of
don't
course.
think there's a good enough reason to shoot someone in the back
Yeah, do
uh
something like that. Yeah.
cold-blooded like that. And I'm sure that whatever, if let's just say hypothetically there was a grievance with a particular situation with an insurance company, right? Um, I get it that he's the CEO, but he's not the guy that personally denied
Yeah.
whatever.
That's a good point. That's a very good
Maybe if
point.
you want to be on the side that they're using AI to approve or deny certain situations, then it's a different conversation. But I don't know. I just don't see, again, even if I felt as though um it's gotten to a point where people are taking these actions, I don't think I would celebrate that like publicly. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
of
saying?
course.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
think that's something that I would celebrate. I would have my thoughts on it, but it's nothing just like that was somebody's husband, that was somebody's son,
Father maybe
that was
or
someone's father, maybe. Yeah. So
someone's kid.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a good point.
that's not coming home for just doing their job. Now, again, if you want to talk about the whole industry as a whole, that's a different conversation.
Of course.
And we can go about different ways of seeing that these people come to justice, if that's a thing.
100%.
um
100%.
and then not only that, but it's a slippery slope. Like, where do we stop at that point? Because
Yeah, what's the statute of limitation, right? Like where's the next point where someone is like, well, this is a deserved reason for me to kill this person or go after that person. Like I was it was very interesting to hear people talk about how they were like, well, fuck big pharma, like they deserved it and blah blah blah. And it's like, whoa, time out. Like it's a human being, dude. Like there's protocols and ways that you protest things with this, because the moment you establish violence as an answer in that nature, then the statute of limitation changes by people's emotions. So like someone with a lesser degree of being able to contain themselves is going to do something even more rash later on for a smaller reason or a less bigger reason. You know what I mean? Like,
So let's look at it. So what are the options here, right? So the situation could have been, let's, again, we're in hypothetical land, right?
yeah, yeah.
So something happened where it affected him or it affected his loved ones. Again, does that give you the right to go down and shoot someone in cold blood
In
that
cold blood.
had nothing to do with whatever situation you're talking about? No.
Yeah, no.
So again, I'm always objective. We talk all the time. I always try to stay objective. Um, but even if I felt as though the system is rigged and it's bullshit, I just can't condone shooting the man in his back and doing that. That was foul. That was foul.
Yeah, true that. True that. It's a kind of a horrible thing to see, especially that them like not. I mean, for it to be like put on media and social media and all that other stuff with people like even of the younger ages watching someone do this,
Yeah.
because like, man, I was putting in the chat like, what a crazy world we live in. That's a headline. And then you watch. I don't know if you had seen it, but of course there's like
Wait a minute. It took a guy shooting a CEO in New York for you to realize that there was a crazy world that we're living in.
No. We've talked about this. We told you like when with the election and stuff that this was going to be a circus. Alex Jones, dude. Alex Jones has been my toppest point of the whole like thing. But no, like I was talking about like how crazy it is. Like not in my like I think 1 year younger than me or like 2 years younger than me. Like in our entire lives, like I've never seen a media headline in the sense of like man with silenced pistol shoots CEO of big pharma. Like I was talking about, like just those like that jumble of words just sounds so weird. I could imagine.
We've seen weirder.
I mean, yeah, 100%. I mean, 100%. I mean, we lived through 9/11. I mean, 9/11
Exactly.
was like the craziest situation in our entire lifetimes. In fact, the craziest thing I've ever seen in the news was a large news company cover a duck getting shot with an arrow in a public lake. Like, and I don't know why that stuck to my head so hard, but I remember that from like years ago. Cause I was like, bro, isn't there more important things you need to be covering? I don't give a fuck about a duck with an arrow in itself.
Yeah.
And but it was enough that it just caught my eye. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are the odds that that would be on the news? And then, now we have this, like, a person got assassinated. I'm not like, it's so crazy because did you get to see the video?
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw the video. Like the way this guy, like the pistol, dude. Like this fucking dude pulled out like a whole ass, like fucking what is that? Golden Eye pistol, dude. Like just
That
no
was like
reason. Like,
Splinter Cell type shit. Yeah.
dude, I was like, what the
Tom
fuck am I
Clancy.
watching,
Yeah,
man?
that was like some Tom
Yeah, what the
Clancy
fuck am
shit,
I
bro.
watching? Like, it's just I thought it would be just a regular gun. This guy pulled out a whole ass fucking like you have to buy that shit in the store of the video game kind of gun, man. I was like, damn, this is crazy as fuck. But yeah, horrible news. Like you said, condolences to the family and all that stuff because that's a human being. But yeah, hopefully justice is served in some way. I hope the Justice Department will do its job and the media will cover it and it'll put it down.
Probably
Miguel,
not.
good to see you in the comment section, my man, and Robert, you too,
Sure,
Biggie
yes,
man. Good to see you, my
everybody in
man.
the
Good to see you.
comments. Yes.
Welcome back. It's a Sunday we didn't miss today, so it's good. Triggs is out. Triggs, if you don't notice, he's at work. He's doing his work stuff. So shout out to our boy Triggs. Yeah, we got some interesting things. Me and Brian are going to be covering, talking about Creature Commando. I got to see Creature Commando. Did you get to watch it?
I did.
You did? Oh shit. We got Wicked. I got to see Wicked. You got to see Wicked. Craven, Star Wars Skeleton Crew, and of course, when we talking about Marvel Rivals, dude. Actually, let's talk about Marvel Rivals, man. We'll bring that up right now because I mean, video games, it's it's a hit or miss sometimes, but we love them. So we know that Marvel just dropped the video game Marvel Rivals. It's a free-to-play game, and it's got like a roster of fucking characters, doesn't it?
Wait, before you continue, Derpy.
Oh yeah.
Derpy, if you like Creature Commandos, I want you to wait until we talk about it.
Yeah,
just stick around because I would love to. I would love to get your thoughts on how Chris thought about it. But go ahead.
Yeah, dude.
Go ahead. Talk about it.
Yeah, straight. So we got Marvel Rivals. It just dropped. It has a huge roster of characters. It very much plays like I guess you could say it plays like Overwatch, right?
Yeah.
Just to be fair, it does play like Overwatch. And right now, of course, the internet is in this kind of like snowboarders versus skiers, skaters versus skateboarders or roller skaters or whatever. Where they're trying to say that Marvel Rivals is the Overwatch killer, right? Okay. Which I disagree. I think Overwatch 2 was a little bit boring compared to Overwatch 1. I think Overwatch was a lot better. But I don't think it's a killer of Overwatch because it plays on its own kind of like plays on its own version of it, right? Because every character has like a badass skill. The gameplay's a little bit smoother. I think the gameplay's crazier as shit too. Like it's all over the place. But you're playing it. I'm not playing it right now. I'm stuck. Like I said, I'm doing VR and still playing Helldivers and all that stuff. So Brian, you being a gamer yourself, like how are you liking Marvel Rivals? You recommend it? Do you kind of like what do you feel about it?
Oh yeah, dude, I 1000% recommend it. I'm enjoying the shit out of that game, to be honest with you. There's so many different characters. And like you said, it's a shit show. Part of my friends.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've seen the videos.
There's a lot going on. If you plan on playing with any snipers, good luck. I know I'm not. I've been maining with Storm.
Badass.
She's fucking awesome. But I'm enjoying that game a lot more than I thought. The only reason why I started playing is because I watch a YouTuber, Den of Nerds, Josh. From time to time on here, and sometimes I post some of the stuff that he posts. He did like a 24-hour stream where he wanted to get to 200 wins in 24 hours, which he failed miserably, by the way, which is funny as hell. That game is tough, bro. There's already a lot of sweats on that game. They did the beta testing, so a lot of people are already familiar with the game.
Yeah, they did it a couple months ago, right?
Yeah, and if you didn't get that head start, then you're pretty much fucked because at this point, it's tough. But I'm enjoying it. I enjoy everybody. I never played Overwatch, so I could not tell you one thing about it. I'm learning this style of battle royale, as I'm going, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's very what's the word? Tedious, if you will. You have I don't know, four or five skill sets that you're doing over and over and over and over and over again.
Oh, okay.
But I'm enjoying it. I'm basically enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the same way it kind of plays off in Overwatch, right? Like some characters have like a run button, some don't. Like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
that was the one thing that fucked me up the first time I played Overwatch is I was so accustomed to, hitting shift with my ring finger and running and keeping my character in a sprint or, a regular run.
Mhm.
And none of the characters have that except for I think it's like Soldier 66 or something, Soldier
Okay.
45 or something. So like I know that in this game it probably plays the same way where everybody
Same
moves
way.
at practically the same pace, but like some have dashes, some have flight or some kind of like zoom.
Some are naturally faster. Even if you can fly, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can move faster. Because like Storm, for instance, she flies and she's slow as shit.
Yeah.
Like if you die, it's gonna take you 15 seconds to get back into the fight.
Yeah. To
From
clear
from,
that
from the
part of the
start.
map and get back to the middle and all
To
that
get
other stuff.
to get back to the fight. But then there's other flyers like Tony that is fast. So Iron Man is fast. Yeah,
Magneto
yeah,
probably moves the same way as Storm.
Magneto is also kind of slow. Some of the tanks are awesome to play with though. I play with Wolverine. He's awesome to play with. He's just basically a fighter. He's just there just to fuck shit up basically.
Yeah. He's like brawler type, right? And then he
Yeah.
works for then. Okay, so like what I also heard too is that they do a lot of like you could do like team up combos.
Team ups,
Yeah,
exactly.
man, that's really really
Team
cool.
ups. So for
Overwatch
Storm,
really doesn't have that.
yeah, so for Storm, her team up is with Thor and Captain America. That's her
Oh, that's dope.
that's her team. And it's pretty and it's like the Thor core basically, and it's fucking awesome. It's really dope.
What about like when it comes to like paywalls and stuff like that, or like buying in the store?
Yes,
Or
it's
like,
the same thing. Listen, I'm not gonna bitch about paywalls because I play Fortnite, and that is, if you want to buy skins, you want to buy the right now, it's got to the point where Fortnite has 2 battle passes because now they have the OG map. If you want the battle pass for that, you got to pay for that, and then the regular one, and you got to pay for that as well. So they're raping people through the nose. So I'm not gonna bitch about paywall. You got to buy skins.
But what's crazy is with Marvel, with the Rivals game, competing against that kind of work, right? I heard that the what is it? The season pass, it won't go away. You can still grind for it. You don't need to pay for anything. Yeah. Like each uniform, you can like no matter what they are. There's no uniform that you have to buy and you cannot grind for. The grind may be slow, but the season passes are gonna be consistent.
Yeah.
That's so fucking cool though. Because of course, like in Fortnite, right? That was like the big flex on a lot of the players was like, oh, dude, I have the costume from when it first dropped, and no one can get it anymore. And I've never really been a big fan of the way Fortnite had its store, where it's just like you have to be lucky to get like a costume that you really want. Like it's every month it changes or every couple of days. Like I've never really been a big fan of that. I've always thought it should have like a catalog of like all the different costumes. Maybe
and you can go back and
I thought that was like because it's mainly for aesthetic, right? Like none of the costumes really give you like an edge above anybody else in that video game. So since it's in that nature, like you would believe that there would be some type of like maybe a link that takes you and you can buy it for your account or whatnot. Like most, bigger MMORPGs or something like that, where you can just buy aesthetics in the store on their website. But Fortnite never really had that. So, I mean, it's cool. At least they have the 2 season passes going on. I know a lot of people, that was like a big flex. Like the ones that started in the first season of Fortnite, they would always be like, oh, look at me. I have this skin from that season because I've been playing it ever since then and whatnot. But Fortnite is such a different game nowadays. So it really, really cool to see how it's expanded. I know they did like a big concert, like the way they've done before. They just did that a couple of days ago. And I've heard a lot of great things for Marvel Rivals. So in the video game world, like that's such a good thing. Marvel, I don't really know if they have any other games that are popping off right now. I think the last one was maybe like Midnight Suns or the Guardians game. Of course, the Avengers game didn't pop off, right?
I started playing Guardians is fun, dude. I don't know. I don't remember if we covered it or if it's got like a good or bad like reviews from people online, but it was free. Well, it's free if you have the PlayStation Plus thing. And bro, I've been enjoying. I'm still playing it. Like I'm enjoying it.
It's really good.
Yeah,
The
I'm
story and the
enjoying the
gameplay
game.
is really, really good. So, and then not only that, it really like it opens up a lot of like the universe of the Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Like it
Yeah,
brings in like Fing Fang Foom. It brings in
yeah,
like a bunch of different characters that
it does.
you never like that the Marvel movies really don't touch base on more into the comic book. So, yeah, man, it's a really great game. I just wish that it had something more, maybe like a versus mode or something where you can kind of do, or even like a better co-op or something. I don't know if it has co-op. I think it's just
It may, but you know what, dude? Every game has co-op, bro. So it's like if that's what you're into, I'm pretty sure that I can find 1,000 other games that I would rather play co-op with other than Guardians of the Galaxy. You know what I'm saying?
oh
So
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
like I'm good. I'm good the way that it is. Listen, and again, this game is free as well. So Marvel Rivals is free to
Yeah, you can't
download.
beat that.
You don't have to pay anything. So if anybody just wants to jump on and play, look me up or hit me on Instagram or Facebook, and we'll rock out,
We'll
man.
get it. Yeah, we'll get
Yeah.
it. Shit, I might
Chris, you
just get it just to
I was
have
gonna
a
say you
play
too,
along
bro.
with
Like I want you in there too, bro. Because
you.
the
Yeah, yeah, I gotta
Wolverine,
jump in and check it out.
I can see you as meaning as Wolverine and us
Yeah,
just like
baby. And
rocking out
not
and
only
shit.
that, the character designs are
Awesome,
they're
awesome,
badass, man.
awesome.
The way that they draw the characters and they make them look is super cool. Nina, what's up? Good to see you in the comment section. Long time. And yeah, Deadpool Wolverine, solid movie, fun movie. A couple of notches above what is it? Spider-Man No Way Home or what is it?
I say it was a fun movie. It's not a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
movie.
yeah. It's a really, really fun movie. And not only that, like there's talks like with the success of the Marvel franchise off of the Deadpool movie, that opened up a lot of doors for them to want to do like more work in the sense of how Ryan Reynolds and the director wanted to take the films and stuff. And it opened up a bunch of doors for a bunch of different people. There's so much stuff like, but they're all rumors that are coming out of the Marvel universe world right now. You know, you have of course like how Doom becomes a god, the World War Hulk movies, the World War Hulk movie sounds wild as shit, or at least like the speculations on how they're coming along.
Yeah.
Which was at the ending, of course, we heard like last week that they were doing a lot of reshoots for the Captain America movie, right? Almost like they're redoing almost like the whole film, and it was all based on like I guess like how the elections went. They wanted to kind of correlate a little bit more to something relative, so they want to bring some stuff in from like the reality of our world into like the election stuff with Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah.
But apparently, like at the end of the film, this is just speculation. It's not even real. Is that you know, Bruce Banner's Hulk is going to show up and take Red Hulk away and depower him or whatnot, or the Sentry shows up, or it's supposed to lead into the World War Hulk series. And we've discussed this before because I've told you guys before, you know, I'm a huge fan of the World War Hulk series. So for him to, you know, be like this villain to the world after what they did with Infinity War, like there's really not much that they can work with, right?
Yeah.
But apparently they're gonna do this thing where like Bruce Banner is gonna get, I don't even know how they do it, but he's gonna turn into like Maestro. Have you heard this?
Yep.
So what have you heard about this? Because it freaks me out. Because like Maestro Hulk is like, man, dude, I
haven't heard any specifics, but I heard that Maestro Hulk is on the table. That's all I've heard.
So, by chance, and this is just us being comic nerds, right? And this is just us talking shop. How can we get from what we got with Bruce Banner from Infinity? Because we really haven't had much from him after that, which was just I think She-Hulk, right? And then him going to Sakaar, bringing his kid, which is another crazy part of the puzzle. From here to there, like, how do you think it would be possible for us to get a Maestro Hulk in the world? Because I mean, it's hard, man. Because if we break down the origin of Maestro, he visits like a future world of the dystopian world. He ends up feeling like humanity cannot fathom for itself. So he says, all right, cool. Well, I'm going to be a dictator. Kind of like, you know, the Dr. Doom vibe, like, you know, just going in that same nature of like, I have the power. I should be in control. He fights Hercules, which of course we know is coming out in the Thor movie, which is what got set up for the next film, which is the Greeks versus the Thor, the Asgardians or whatever. But yeah, how do we come across getting a Maestro from all of this?
I have no idea. Not in the
timeline
that's that we're
weird, right?
Not in the MCU. There's just he Maestro is so far down the line
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to get into it with like Secret Wars, I could see him popping up there maybe, but before that, I have no idea, dude.
Yeah, like you're talking about like when they do like the battle world stuff, right? Like the
Yeah.
different continents. Maybe like Doom visited a Hulk world or whatnot, and he makes him one of like the generals or something, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so like, yeah, I'm specifically talking about Battle World, but if they're not gonna do the traditional Battle World, which I'm hearing they're probably not, then I have no idea how they're gonna incorporate him in anything.
Yeah, because from what we got from the Deadpool Wolverine movie is that the place where they were in was practically what's supposed to be Battle World, right?
I'm hearing that they may not do that, so that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Oh, and that's because that's a good setup. That's a pretty solid setup for that to be like technically Battle World, right?
hmm
And you already have it to where like they're established in like a desert or Sahara or whatever. Like you can just make it to where a couple miles out there's a giant wall and you can't pass that or whatever. Like you already have it kind of like you have it established. It's you know what I mean. Like that's man, that would be a weird move for them not to use it that way.
Yeah, but then how would you get people there? Like as of right now in the MCU, the only way to get to the void is if you're pruned.
Yeah, yeah.
So that means that you have to prune everything to get it there.
Well, unless because remember in Time Runs Out, right? Which is what speculations
I'm
is
just
supposed to
speaking.
be.
I'm just speaking from the MCU and what we have now.
Yeah, yeah, from the movies
As
and
of,
stuff.
as
Right?
of right now, that what we have in the shows, the Loki show,
The
in order
pruning
to get
takes you to the battle world.
in order
Or
way to get to this place where they're gonna change it from the void, which is again a problem in itself. Because as of right now, we know it as the void.
the
We don't
void.
know it as battle world. We know it as the void. If they're gonna transform the void into battle world, and the only way to get to the void is to get pruned, how do you do that?
Well, okay, so we know Doctor Doom is out there doing something, right? We
Yeah.
haven't been established that we don't know what he's doing. But of course, in the comic books, Time Runs Out, Strange, Doctor Doom, and Owen Reese are working in the background, trying to do all the Owen Reese dudes, bring them together to create a bomb to take out the Beyonders, which is the same point in time that Thor and Hyperion fight the Beyonders. Like right after that moment happens, Doom, Owen Reese, and the Molecule Man and Doctor Strange show up and blow the fuck out of the Beyonders that were left behind. So we can safely say, because that's what the speculation has been for the rest of the films, is that like even in the Fantastic Four, like Doctor Doom is supposed to show up, but it's the bad version that's already conquered the incursions or whatnot. Like the way it's established is Doctor Doom's always like one step ahead in the Marvel universe when it comes to things.
Mhm.
So we can safely say that across the multiverse that a Doctor Doom is out there doing something, right? Maybe, and this is just by chance, he finds a way to get to the void and realizes that I don't know if you remember this, but in Thor Ragnarok, they talked about the portal that lands in the middle of Sakaar, right? They called it like the asshole of the universe or whatever, that all of these things always fall into that planet from that portal.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's what the void is, being that that's the place where the only place in the universe that things congregate from the pruning thing. Like maybe that's like a portal or something in that nature, because beforehand we used to believe that it just killed people. It just evaporated them. But what it was doing was it was teleporting him. It was like a rainbow bridge, like in Thor. Like it was just teleporting him to this place. Maybe Doctor Doom in some way found a way to the void and realized it was like an environment, a place, and he realized that it was already sanctuarying people of different multiverses in that one nature.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean that would be the only possible way I could think, like it, because I mean
there are also the sling rings that people that was
Doctor
used
Strange.
to get that people that was used in Deadpool and Wolverine. Maybe that's the way. I don't know, dude. I have no idea.
True.
I
I didn't even know it could go between dimensions, man. The sling ring, because that was never established in the Doctor Strange, right?
Apparently, it can.
That's so wild, dude. The other thing is, speaking about this, right? The Void. Did you hear about the young man that plays Kid Loki?
Yeah.
Man, that fucking like that had to bring you down, right? Like that you felt like bad for this dude.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, 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 of course, it's Brian
I,
Adams.
I
Would you
really,
be honest?
I really didn't think about. I didn't. I mean, I don't know, man. Life's hard, man. Like I
Yeah,
don't know. I don't know. It's
it
hard.
made me it bummed me out a little bit when I saw it. I was like, dang, he wasn't like a. It didn't seem like he was like a piece of shit actor or like
I don't know.
yeah. Well, I mean, he could be fucking hocked up on fucking fentanyl of all we know, and that's why he's homeless. Um, but yeah, his name's Jack Veal. Right now he's 17 years old. He played Kid Loki in the Loki series and did a phenomenal job as the character. I mean, for the little bit that he was on. Um, yeah, he ended up making a YouTube video a couple of days ago talking about how he's been homeless for a while, living out of like a trailer that's busted out, like that he gets into it with his family, and his family's really abusive towards him, and all this stuff. And there was a little part of me that was like, yo, why aren't like his co-stars like reaching out to him, or like does he not kind of like congregate or talk to these people in a way, like, you know what I mean? Like you would assume someone would reach out to him, right? But then again, that's what we thought about for Ezra Miller in The Flash, when we were like, yo, he's in Hawaii. Why doesn't Jason Momoa just roll up and slap him and be like, come to my house, stop fucking terrorizing people?
Well, that's a little bit different. Ezra Miller is a full grown fucking man. So
Yeah,
if somebody doesn't reach out, then that's I understand that. Now I
this is a
will
kid.
say it's a little it's a little I don't want to say weird, but I would have a little bit more sympathy for the Kid Loki guy because he
Yeah.
is 17. But at the same time, I mean, if you're 17, dude, I mean, unless you've and again, I don't know what this kid's been through, and I don't want to sound heartless or whatever,
Yeah.
but I mean, if you're 17, you don't have to live on the street, dude. Like you don't
Yeah.
have to.
I mean, you got to
Like
work. I mean, you can do some stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
not
you
even
gotta
that,
start
but like being that you are a minor, you can find resources to not have you sleep on the street. At that
well,
point, you're choosing to live on the street.
well, right now, I don't know if you saw, but like he had made the video to get some attention, and then he was picked up by the people from was it social services?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like they were
And that's
talking
what I'm
about
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't mean to cut you off, but like
no,
it's
no.
just I'm just desensitized to a lot being the world that we live in right now. Um, and if you're really in dire situations and you really need help, the last thing I'm expecting someone to do is to jump on their phone. I'm just that way. And that goes with anything. This doesn't go with this kid. It goes with anybody. Like if you're going through something, if you need help in any situation, I mean, I don't mind you jumping on the phone and pleading your case, but I would think that would come along the line somewhere down the checklist. It wouldn't be, you
Like one of your
know,
priorities.
one of my priorities
Yeah.
exactly. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's what
So
I was
that
saying.
that
Like,
makes me look that
you
makes me look at it a certain way personally.
yeah, because you would associate you would think the ideal way would be like reach out to friends and family first or whatnot. And I mean, being that he's in the cinema, like you know what I mean? Like I mean, he was in a large film like that you would associate that with like, I mean, how many people probably work on that film? 127 people that you could at least friend one of them.
Not only
Like,
that, but that's a blessing. Like you have a talent. Like there's
yep,
something that you were blessed with.
yep,
A lot of people that are in your situation don't have that blessing. So
yep,
how much
100%.
sympathy do you really think you're gonna garner? I mean, I get it. It's fucked up.
Yeah,
Life sucks sometimes,
yeah,
but get up off your ass.
yeah.
Do something
So
about it.
in his video, he had talked about how he would go through like some trauma in his household, and then
Mhm.
being that he was a minor, his stepfather was the person that was in charge of like his finances. And
Okay.
apparently like that dude kind of like locked him out of his like accounts and all this other stuff when he had been dealing with this the first time, because it's from the video it looks like he's been doing this living in the trailer or whatnot for a minute, you know what I mean? Like he's been doing it for a while. So it's a lifestyle for him already, but yeah, man, it's just sad as shit, right? But like, this kid could probably like, if he does a couple comic cons, he'll make some cash. You know what I mean? If he does like some, he'll make some money real fucking quick because he's a star. You know what I mean? He's a fucking star. Like,
He
unless he's
can
out there
literally
blowing dudes
just
in the
go to
parking lot
Comic
for
Cons as
$5
Kid Loki. Yeah, he can literally go to any Comic Con as Kid Loki and make some money.
and make some money. I mean, that's like, I don't know if you ever watched, but like a lot of the Power Ranger dudes. I've been watching, of course, like the Black Ranger and the Red Ranger guy made a YouTube channel, and they've
Yeah,
been talking about how like that was like their saving grace, because when they were originally cut from the original movie, I don't know if you remember.
I remember.
What's up, Jeremy? Good stuff, man. Uh, those guys were originally cut from the original film because they had told their management team and the guys that run the films that they wanted more money because they weren't getting paid. They were super highly underpaid. And when they got it, when they asked for more money, they were supposed to do it with all the other Rangers, and everybody else flaked on them, and they continued to kind of like run it, and they fucking cut them. I mean, we all know what happens. History, marks itself. But like they never really picked up after that. Again, like they weren't making money. The Power Ranger show was like $1 billion franchise, and these guys were barely making $500-$600 checks every 2 weeks. Like, you know what I mean? Like they were just getting run through. And it wasn't until they started doing Comic Cons that they were, or like they said fairs, like state fairs,
Yeah,
like in their area, that they were like, yo, like we made more money at the state fair than we made in in a month of working. And, they, ever since then, they kind of were hitting, all of those scenes, and they still been doing it their whole lives. Even if their careers never really picked up after that, they're still,
but no,
still
I
making
mean,
money.
yeah, but you could say that about literally any Power Ranger. All of them have
pretty
this.
much.
I mean, all of them have the same story. Like they really never became big actors outside of that. They have been Power Rangers their entire life.
Yeah,
every last one of them.
Well, except John Yun Bosch, right? He's the voice actor of like a million characters in every anime kind of stuff.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and, he's Broly now. Like, you know what I mean? Like this guy's like, he's literally. You could point at pretty much all my anime posters, and he's probably a voice actor in those animes.
Yeah.
So he was able to find himself in some way, right?
Yeah.
And but of course, like you watch him, and he's trying to do like movies also, but those never really pop off. Even with his success in voice acting, those are not getting any like
traction,
like push up or traction.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just talking about the Marvel stuff and what happened to this kid. Like I was really like, I even told a friend of mine, I was like, yo, I'll adopt this kid and bring him to the Valley, dude. And, we'll fucking help him out and he'll be all right, man. It'd be a better situation than he's in over there. But, yeah, I hope he gets help, man. Like that's the best thing you can do is just hope. And of course, like him making some plea to the internet. And like I said before, him being such a charming little dude in the Loki series, the internet's going to they're going to fucking pick him up real quick. Someone will start a GoFundMe, get this guy fucking $40,000, like, in the next couple of moments. And this kid will be fucking doing blow off of some stripper in the hotels.
That's what I'm saying. Like money isn't the issue here. Like that's not the issue. Like the money is not going to fix this kid's problem. Like this guy, from what I'm gathering, he needs help, like professional help.
Right?
And like professional help. And he needs a plan. He doesn't need money. Like he needs, I mean, he probably needs money too. Don't get me wrong.
Everyone needs money.
He probably needs money, but he needs money with a plan. You can't just give somebody some money without a plan and not some professional help and think that it's gonna be okay. So
yeah, man, because isn't it weird? Like, how do you fall that far from like a Marvel franchise?
All right, stop. All right, I've been letting you get this off, but like he was in 2 episodes of Loki, bro. Knock it off.
Still money though.
Like he's been into like let's not talk about him like he's Robert Downey Jr. and he's having this.
No. I'm not gonna give him that.
This kid was in 2 episodes or 3 episodes of Loki, bro. Like knock it off. Like get another job, or get a better fucking money handler. Like I've been trying to hold this in, but like the sympathy for him. This guy was in 3 episodes of Loki, the show, bro. Like knock it off.
But he made a point, and then not only that, with the rise of the Young Avengers coming up, like that's another gig for him. Maybe. Like that, he 100% should be in the Young Avengers series. You know what I mean? Like that's like, I mean, fuck, he's in the comics. Like, why won't they be like, man, that kid's homeless now. Fuck that kid. Like, he's in foster care. We can't have him. You know what I mean? Like, and he's like right on the cusp of like, it's like you said, like he just needs to be better handling with his money.
Yeah,
that's what I think it is. Yeah, because he just got to strive till he's 18, and then he's fine, and then he doesn't have to worry about his fucking parents no more.
I grew up in the 80s, bro. All I know is child actors that have just been down bad. This is
Macaulay Culkin, baby.
Again, I am I'm desensitized to a child actor's boohoo story, bro. Like I'm desensitized to it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts, dude. That's so crazy. But yeah, I hope he gets the care that he needs. I know that the internet, pulled a fast one and kind of got him hooked up. And
I sound like a real dickhead. But I'm being honest. I'm sorry. Like,
No, dude, it's but the thing is, we don't know this kid on a personal level. It's like I said, he could
yeah,
be
I don't
doing
know.
fucking fentanyl off of someone's cock, dude, in the
And it's not
alley.
like there's not
You know what
like I have some other fucking show where he was just phenomenal that I have this attachment to him. He's literally have like 15 minutes of screen time between 3 episodes, and I don't have that attachment to him to where I'm gonna feel sorry that
You know what it
he's
is?
sleeping on the
It's the
street.
fact that we know throughout history how Hollywood has treated children, and like
Okay.
in my mind, it's like, well, this kid's not from America, right? He's from the UK.
Okay.
So like, and then you go back and you remember like some of the weird shit that they would talk about of like the Harry Potter movies, like how they would treat some of the kids, and some of like some of the people that would talk about how they were like, uh treated, and just real crazy Hollywood shit with kids in the back. And it's like you kind of just hope that that shit doesn't happen no more. Like that's pretty much what it is. So like to hear that this kid, like for the 3 or 2 episodes that he came out in, it's not like he was.
So what you're telling me is you're hoping the Hollywood industry stops being the Hollywood industry this time.
Yeah, man, I don't want him to do a Nickelodeon on him, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Fuck.
Got it.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things that I hope that they're able to find something for this kid, because it's a sad situation to be in, especially with the success that he was able to accomplish like in just the small amount of time he's been acting. What an opportunity to be in a role like that. So it'd be cool.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. I mean, I'm not really fun for foster care. I don't think foster care is really good for kids. I mean, I've heard like horror stories when it comes
As
to.
opposed to him living on the street.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's hard, man, because foster care I've heard is like a horrible thing, but I don't know what it's like.
As opposed to living on the street.
I don't know. I mean, I've had friends of mine that were in foster care in high school, and they liked it, but it was down here in the valley, but they didn't have like a lot going for them. But like, I don't know how it is for foster care in big cities. You know what I mean? Like in
I've never had to do either or, but I think I would roll the dice with a roof over my head. That's just me.
yeah. Well, that's a good point too. That's a real good point. But yeah,
I roll the dice.
let me get this real quick.
Nope. Go ahead,
But yeah. I just wanted to bring that up because I don't know if you had heard about it, but I just feel like it was something that was interesting because we were talking about Marvel and the Void, and I know that Loki, that's his kingdom or whatever that they said in the Loki series, the young
And
kid.
anyone that's listening, listen, I'm not a dickhead in real life. Like I'm just extremely desensitized to a lot of stuff, and I just don't have any patience for it, man. If you're really down bad, man, go seek help, man. Like that's what we all have to do in the world. So
Hold on,
yeah.
are we done with the pod? Yeah, I'm texting one of my homies, my boy Caesar. But yeah, back to what we were talking about earlier. We have, of course, the idea of how they're bringing in Maestro, how Doctor Doom is going to be coming in. This whole concept of what what Marvel's going to be doing with it is so wild, dude. So fucking wild. And I know we didn't get to talk about it last week, but what about like the reshoots for Captain America's new Brave New World? Like it's been, I've heard it's been pretty bad.
We talked about it.
Did we talk about it last week or what? Or 2 weeks?
Well, not last week, but like 2 weeks ago, we talked about it. Yeah.
They just did more reshoots.
They've just been doing the same reshoots that they've been doing for the last couple weeks.
Dang, man, well, that's crazy. Well, yeah. I mean, I had seen that they were gonna they want to do some kind of like Hulk film, right? And that's because they didn't even drop like today or like yesterday that they want to do like a whole like Hulk universe, right? Like its own multiverse. And I don't know how they're gonna come across it because again, I just had the opportunity a couple of days ago going back and watching Infinity War and Endgame, and man, what a bad time in film when it comes to going back and having to watch those and them still be like fucking tops. But yeah, they didn't really do nothing with the whole character, and I really hope they fix it. And yeah, I'm kind of excited for the Captain America movie that's going to be coming out because of Red Hulk, and yeah, it'd be dope. But is the Red Hulk in the fucking Marvel Rivals?
No.
Oh shit.
It's just Bruce Banner. Actually, it's Bruce Banner, and one of his moves is him turning into the Hulk.
Oh, okay. So he starts as Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Does he have like a little pistol or something or what?
I forgot what he has, but yeah, it's just Bruce. You start off as Bruce Banner.
Dang, that's crazy. So it's like a power up to be the Hulk, and then you lose it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, that's kind of that shit. That sucks. That sucks.
Yeah,
No, but I'm okay.
I've never played as
I'm
Bruce
playing that.
Banner. Mhm.
So, recommendation 10 out of 10. Marvel Rivals.
I mean, it's just my first week playing it. I would give it a solid 8. I'm enjoying it. There's a lot of cool characters that you could play with, that you can main with, that, you know, depending on who you're playing with, you can change your character to be a healer or a fighter or just aerial support and things like that. Like it's a cool game.
Okay, very very dope. I got to check it out. Very very good, very good, very good. Speaking about Marvel and sticking on the same subject, but going into Sony, Craven the Hunter got a new trailer released this past week, and
Yeah.
apparently it's the first 8 minutes of the film. I didn't get the opportunity to watch it, but Brian, you got to see it.
Mhm.
What did you think, man? What did you think? I mean,
I saw it.
Craven's been like the weirdest thing.
I saw it when it first came out, when it first dropped. I don't exactly remember everything that I saw in it. I remember some things that I wanted to point out, but I can't remember at this point. Too much has passed by. But from what I remember seeing from it, I think that this has the chance. And again, I kind of there's this is a two-part answer, right? So it's like it looks good, but there's a reason why they're showing you the first 8 minutes, right? It's because they really desperately need people to go out there watch this movie for some reason,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
that's the only reason why you show the first 8 minutes, right? Um, it looks good. I just don't know if anyone's gonna go out to watch it. Is what I'll say.
Shit. So what were the first 8 minutes like? If by chance you remember just a little bit, a synopsis of it, like a breakdown of what you saw.
So from what I remember seeing, it was just like I don't remember the scene of what I watched. I remember watching the first couple minutes of it and then turned it off because like I'm going to watch this movie, and I don't want to spoil it. Like the first 8 minutes, I'm not gonna want to spoil it for myself. But it's just
Okay.
basically just him turning into Craven. Like this movie starts off, you know, with him being young and being raised in this environment where you know he's taught to be this uh
Like it's like a
badass
traditional thing,
hunter.
right? Like a
Yeah,
traditional
yeah,
family,
it's
like
gonna be like a
hunter.
coming of age. Yeah, it's gonna be basically a coming of age story, and I'm gonna watch it. I think I'm gonna hopefully I'll like it, but from the first couple minutes of what I've seen, I think it looks way better than the fucking any of the Venom movies. I'll tell you that much.
Mhm.
Um, the guy that made this movie, I forgot what else he made, but it's and like the writers and the creators of this movie are have better backgrounds from what I remember than any of the other Sony Marvel movies. Like they didn't have any business touching uh Marvel project. So this one has a better chance of becoming uh a better movie than all the rest of them. Now
Oh, that's so good.
you said you haven't watched it, but
Yeah.
like since you know you want to talk about it, are you interested to watch this movie at all?
I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, the way that they use Craven the Hunter in most of the video game IPs, they do fairly well with him. So like they do pretty good. Like if you go back to what Spider-Man 2, the one that just popped off, which was the Venom video game that they just had released in Sony, like
Which
Craven the Hunter.
I wasn't crazy about that game, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't hit as well as the first game did,
And
but
I rather play Miles Morales too, by
oh
the way.
yeah, he's a way funner character. He's got more cool things going on for him. But
But I mean, like the game Miles Morales, I'd rather play
mhm,
that than Spider-Man 2.
and
And of
Spider-Man
course, I'd rather play Spider-Man 1 than Spider-Man 2. But again, I still had fun playing it.
2.
But
Did you like Craven in that video game as the villain?
was I don't remember him being. Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, yeah, he's the one that he wants to hunt the Spider-Man. He's trying to do like the it's
Yeah,
almost like a really watered down version of like the totems.
that's right. Oh yeah, so like the whole part of you like being inside his like hideout,
Mhm.
that was fun. And then like the whole interaction with like the tiger and all that shit, that was fun. So like
Yeah,
I did like that part of the game.
yeah, I kind of feel like the idea of them having like a villain in the Spider-Man universe as a guy who like hunts characters that are based on animals. I think that works very well because you look at the entire rogues gallery of like Spider-Man and everyone's based on some type of animal. So I think having like a hunter character is cool. And this guy, he he was kick ass. You know, he fucking was in a bunch of movies already. Quicksilver. You know, he's kind of like he does this like action role very well. And then not only that, he was in Bullet Train, and he was a fucking G in Bullet Train. So like, you know, he's only been maturing in his acting capabilities. So the character of Craven is kind of like this like I don't know how to explain it. Like he's just like a suave like G of a dude that's just out there that just likes to hunt animals, but he's kind of like enhanced, or he's like you know, he's a superhuman in some way. So he does have his powers because he's able to base it on different animals. But
They're gonna fuck this up because they're gonna turn him into an anti-hero, and nobody wants Kraven the Hunter as an anti-hero.
yeah, I kind of feel like that's the thing, is they're going to kind of do that with a lot of the stuff that they've been kind of putting out there recently, where they always do the anti-hero thing from the villains. They have to make the villain relatable. They got to make it to where you're like, oh man, well, you know what? That sucks, because I really, really understand why he's fucking trying to kill everybody in, you know, New York or wherever. Like he's always, you know, people are always trying to relate to it. But
Yeah.
it's interesting that you're saying that it's kind of like, hey, you know what? It wasn't that bad. Like it wasn't that bad compared to the Venom movies. And that's because the last movie was better than the second one, but not as good as the first one, right?
I'm not watching that third one.
I saw it. You know, I saw it.
never
I saw it for
watched
free on a streaming service online, and I thought it was okay. It was better than part two, like I said, better than the Carnage story.
What they did to Carnage just
Was
left a really
fucking-
bad.
that's
Yeah,
a
it left
travesty.
a bad taste in my mouth, and I will never give them another chance to do that to me again. So fuck them.
Well, yeah, like that's why I was really not supportive of the third film, because I was like, how are you going to introduce a villain like Null? You know, the symbiote god that's like this
You
huge.
can't even get fucking Carnage right. Bro.
You can't get Carnage right, man. They're even struggling with Venom in the first film. They made him like a happy-go-lucky dude that, like, during the first entire run of his comic book series, like he was a villain in the Spider-Man universe. Like he was a villain. It wasn't until like maybe the early like 2000s, maybe 2010s even, that they kind of like were like, oh, dude, let's make Venom an anti-hero, that he wants to be good because reasons, and we can make Carnage the ultimate evil of these guys, which I get it. Carnage.
I remember I got Lethal Protector 1, and I used to be like my bathroom reading material, and I would read it every time I was in the bathroom, and like I can't get on board with this. Like that is the Venom that I like, and that's not what they've captured in any of these movies. Like I'm willing to concede that Venom 1 was good. Like I had to fight myself to say that. Because I didn't enjoy it at all. Because that's not,
it was like slapstick funny for no reason.
For me, that's not who Venom is. Yeah. And so I gave them a chance. I kind of got brainwashed and letting everybody tell me that it was good. So I kind of was down to watch Let It Be Carnage, because I love Carnage. Like,
but that was a travesty.
You can't fuck up Carnage, and they fucked him up. So I'm like, you know what? All right, fuck this. Like, that's it. I'm not watching another one. Like, if I go somewhere and someone's watching the third movie, I'll pay attention, but I'm not going out of my way to watch that movie ever.
Yeah, it's a little much in the second film, or in the third film. But even the second film was just horrendous, man, and they're horrendous. But yeah, how do you feel about the idea of Venom coming to like the MCU? They're talking about it for like the next Spider-Man film.
I mean, it's as long as it's not.
They got to do it better, right?
I mean, I don't see how much worse it can get. I mean, I think I would feel a lot better with it being in Kevin Feige's hands than
the Sony universe.
Yeah, Sony. So yeah, why not give them a shot?
Yeah, well, guys, if you haven't seen it, Kraven the Hunter trailer's out. 8 minutes of the movie. If that's what you run with, if that's the character you really look up to, you get 8 minutes of this dude jumping off walls and running on all fours, and you'll get it all, dude. You'll get it all. It's fantastic. Everyone's loving it. Onwards to the next part of the conversation. So past that, going into something completely different. I'll go in between because, of course, we're going to be talking Star Wars. Of course, we're probably going to talk Star Wars a lot because we have not had anything Star Wars in a very, very long time. And then we'll, of course, be covering Creature Commandos. But before that, I want to jump into something that's a lot more different. Broadway. Broadway musicals. Wicked dropped 2 weeks ago, hit the theaters, and I got the opportunity to see it. Brian got the opportunity to see it. Brian,
Who'd you go with to go see this movie?
well, me and Christella, we saw it.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah,
You
and
went to the theater?
Christella didn't know what it was. So
So this was your idea. You went to go see that.
yeah, man, I'm a huge fan of Wicked. I love the Broadway musical.
You seen it?
Yeah, I read the book too.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, man. I'm about this life. Wizard of Oz, I think I told you guys this before, is like my homegrown favorite movie. You know, I can watch that shit every day, every night, 24 hours. I can rewatch it over and over again, over and over again. So
Okay.
to see them take Wicked and put it on the big screen finally, not like that fucking film that came out a while back, which was like The Land of Oz, or I don't know what the fuck it was, where the one that um Mila
That guy.
Kunis on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not that one. That one wasn't good. But
I
yeah,
thought you
it
were talking
had,
about the one that had what's the brother
which one?
the Fantastic Oz or the Amazing Oz? What's the
Wasn't that
fucking
the one? Wasn't the one the story the amazing the Fantastic Oz, wasn't it? The
yeah, but you
Oz.
said Mila Kunis, so I'm talking about the guy that was Oz. What was his name? The fucking
Wasn't it Ashton Kutcher or something?
it's not Aston Kutcher. It's one of the fucking why can I not think of his fucking name, bro? You'll get it.
It was that fucking dude that was like touching people at his school, wasn't it?
I know I know he's in some hot water, but I don't remember what it was for.
It was James Franco, wasn't it? James
James
Franco.
Franco, yeah.
Yeah,
Same
yeah, that dude was just touching dudes. Yeah, I forgot his book. The Oz, great and powerful.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
man,
didn't
that
like
movie
that
was
one.
hot garbage, dude.
I didn't see any of those.
Yeah,
I
that was
barely
bad.
saw
I didn't like
the
it.
original. I barely saw the original Wizard of Oz.
Oh, what'd you
I-
think?
it's not. I mean, it's not for me. I'm not the
I mean, dude,
demographic
it's a
for that.
fucking 70s movie. What do you mean it's not for you?
That's the reason why it's not for me.
Yeah, it's super old.
I was born in the 80s, raised in the 90s. It's not for me. The Wiz was cool. I like the Wiz.
Oh, the Wiz
I
was
grew up-
interesting.
I grew up on that, but
Yeah.
as far as musicals go, I'm not a big musical guy, but I'm sorry, I couldn't cut you off. You went with Christella. You went to
Mhm.
movies. How'd you like the movie?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought it really hit the marks. I think it hit everything that was necessary for the people to really like what Wicked is as a performance and
Okay.
as a story. Yeah, I thought it was when Wicked first came out, and even the Broadway show and the story and the book and all that stuff, like I was super intrigued by it because what it did was it took a story from way back in the day and it kind of added depth to the character development and stuff what it was lacking in the original film, which was, you watch it and it's all based on a girl who runs out, gets hit in the head, falls into like some type of coma, and in her drunk stupor is imagining all the people that work on her farm, and is imagining people that that she has like a traumatic mental connection to. Even the witch herself is like a real estate agent who wants to buy their house, like and buy their farm out because big industry is going to be moving in. And that was like the big thing back in the day, where a lot of like these ranchers and everybody were being pushed out of their ranches because they wanted to buy the land and make bigger cities, especially when they were in the center of the town and whatnot. So, during that time, a lot of this stuff made sense. Of course, now if you watch it, you're kind of like, oh, this shit's weird. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it was great, man, to establish that even back then they had like the undertoning ideals that this guy, the great and powerful Oz, was like this con man that just bamboozled everybody, a fucking snake oil seller guy that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and they still carry that, but they made it so fucking well in the story of Wicked, where they make it to where this guy's like he's trapped in this place, which we all know, but like he is like 100% like bamboozling these people into giving him riches, and he's almost taking advantage of like their naivety to like his technology that he acquired, and his nature and stuff. And then of course, like you have your character of Elphaba, who's very much like born very much the same way, like during Europe when they were doing like the absinthe, and which was the elixir. She has the green skin. It deals with a lot of the undertones of like discrimination and all this stuff, and it hits it in such a great way that makes a lot of sense. Like it's super relatable in a lot of ways. So you know, and it's a good coming of age story also for Elphaba's character, you know, her being more, you know, popular amongst people and being accepted and being drunk on that. Like it's really good. Like I thought the story was
What
fantastic.
what were your standout performances in the movie?
Defying Gravity was probably really good, and then the popular song, that's always a really fun one for me. I really, really dug that from the original.
I mean, as pertaining to acting.
Um, acting. I mean, what's his name? Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum did an amazing job as Oz. Um, Ming Na Wen, or not Ming Na Wen. What's her name?
Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh did an amazing job as the character she was. Elphaba, you know, Ariana Grande did a good. I think Ariana Grande did an amazing job, but she just played her character that she played in what iCarly or whatever, the one like Victoria Justice, where she just played like the dumb person.
I couldn't
But
tell
she
you.
plays like. Do you remember? You don't remember Ariana Grande before she was a singer?
I don't remember her being.
No, she
Where
used
would
to
I
be
know her? Where would I know her from?
Ariana Grande. She's a singer.
No, I know her as a singer, but you said before that. I don't.
Yeah,
Where would
she
I know
used to
her
be
from?
like on the Disney Channel. Ariana. I don't know how to spell her name. Ariana Grande. Disney. Yeah, she used to be a Disney kid, and she used to be on. What was she in? I don't even remember, but she used to be like on a Carly, Victoria Justice. And she,
When did those shows come out?
oh fuck, a long time ago, dude.
Like
Like
when?
uh 2014, 2015.
2014, 2015.
Yeah.
I was 30.
Yeah.
So how the fuck would I know who Ariana Grande is then?
Oh, it just they were all actors. That was like the biggest thing at that
From
time.
a
Like
Disney show?
yeah, it was like the Zach and Cody kids. You know who the Zach and Cody kids are, right?
No.
Those are the two twins that came out. One of them came out in Riverdale. But they were the ones. What was really cool about those kids is they bought the comic rights for the 47
How
Ronin.
do you know these people? You were watching these shows?
Yeah. I mean, I was always watching Nickelodeon and Toonami and everything. I was just catching up with everything. My cousin Adrian Vina writes for these shows. Like he's a writer for these shows. So I was like, I would always watch the ones that he was like associated with in credits and stuff like that.
Got it.
So yeah, I know who all these actors are, man. iCarly, what's her name? Jenny McCarthy, and that was also during like that weird Snyder guy's shit when a lot of people were just like, you know, calling him out for a lot of bullshit in Reddit and 4chan and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. And like I said, like, you know, a lot of these guys, Joe Rogan came out in a couple of the iCarly shows or like a couple of the shows, Zach and Cody's and stuff like that. I mean, you know, through Hollywood, Zachary Quinto from Heroes came out in a couple of the shows also, which I was a huge fan of. So I just wanted to see him in different formats. So like, you know, just different actors and stuff. That was cool. But Ariana Grande played this ditzy character, and it was so cool that the Glenda character was very much in the same format as her old character, and she's really, really funny as like comedian wise. Like she hits all her marks, which I don't know if you realize that. Like in the movie of Wicked, like she hits all like the dumb parts super well.
Got it.
Like all her hits, all her comedy hits were like on. She knows how to hit all of them because that was where she first started off in her acting career. So like I was really impressed by it.
I knew she was an actress before she started singing. I just didn't know what for. I remember my daughter was watching something. I don't remember what she was watching, but I remember seeing her on TV, and my daughter was like into it, and I was like, "Is that Ariana Grande?" She's like, "Yeah." I never asked what it was, but I know of that, but I don't. That's all that I know, dude.
Yeah, it was probably during like the reign of the iCarly series. The iCarly series was very, very popular during that time.
I was way too old to even have that on my radar. I was into a bunch of gnarly shit when I was about 29, 30, dude. So yeah, that was
I'm into everything, dude. I'm just educated in a bunch of shit. Bunch of crazy shit. So.
I'm not talking about like watching, I'm talking about like doing shit. Like I was just all over the place. So even if it was something that was more my speed, I was probably gonna miss it at that time anyway. But I get it. I get it.
Yeah, like and like I said, like I was very impressed by the Zach and Cody kids because they were like these young upcoming twin actors in the Disney Channel, and they were very much into entrepreneurship. And they both bought the rights into, like I said, the comic book rights to create a comic book based on the 47 Ronin. And of course, like the 47 Ronin made popular by the movie with Keanu Reeves and all that other stuff. But like that story has been, you know, in circulation throughout all of the samurai history since before time. So for these guys to pick it up, I always assumed they were going to do like a, I don't know, like a Ninja Turtles or a Samurai Jack or something. I thought they were going to kind of like make something big out of it, and I don't really think. I think they ended up making like what are the Scholastics books? They ended up making like the Scholastic version of the 47 Ronin. So for a younger generation, so I think it's still cool. Like a lot of these people, you know, doing their careers and stuff like that. But yeah, there's that. I think Ariana Grande did a really great job of Glenda's character, and same thing with the lady that plays Elphaba. She's a Broadway musical performer. Cynthia Erivo. Yeah, she's done a bunch of Broadway musicals. It's kind of like where she does her reign. Like, you know what I mean? She reigns in the Broadways. She doesn't really do film too much from what I know, but she did a fantastic job. And to have the two original actors or Broadway performers from Wicked be the two actors that came out in the City of Oz when they were performing on stage and doing all that stuff. Those are the original actors from the original Broadway show.
Got it.
So like to have them come back and reprise some type of role in the Wicked show, like to give their like, you know, to give them their flowers, you know what I mean? Like to give them their respect and stuff. I thought that was really good too. Overall, I think everybody did a fantastic job. The dance sequence at the underground club was really fun. Like the sister, the Tin Man, the Scarecrow guy, like all of them, super good show. Are you familiar with the Wicked story?
Nope.
So first off, let me ask you, like, since you're not familiar with it, like, what did you think of it? Because that's just half of the story. Yeah, that's just half of the story.
I liked it. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. I'm not into musicals. I'm not into the Wizard of Oz. So I thought I was just gonna be, you know, bored as hell for the next 3 hours. But I actually enjoyed it. I thought the story was awesome. I thought the acting was even better.
Yeah.
I can't stand Ariana Grande. I'm sorry, I can't. But I thought she.
But you made it through this one, right?
I thought she did a great job.
Yeah.
Cynthia Erivo. I don't even know who or where she came from, but she did a great job.
Yeah.
Anything with Jeff Goldblum, I'm gonna love anyway. So I'm a fan of his.
And he wasn't too out of this world with it, right?
No.
He was a little more grounded, right?
Yeah, no, he did a really, really good job. And so did Michelle Yeoh. Like that whole dynamic between them two when they kind of like tricked her into reading the book and all that stuff. Like their dynamic was really, really good. So I like their interaction. I think the world of Jeff Goldblum. I think he can have a good scene with anybody, to be honest with you. But that dynamic with them four in the room in Emerald City, I thought was really, really, really good and really, really well done. I think the singing was good. By the end of that movie, everybody around me was crying and shit. So like, I guess it hit its marks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
a lot of people are taking this way out of context when it comes to how they're experiencing the movie, but I get it. Like, I mean,
I don't judge. I mean, it is.
I don't
I'm just
judge.
letting you know, like,
a good time, man.
all the other people, it hit them really, really hard. So for me, I just enjoyed it for what it was and for the acting and stuff like that. But there's a lot of people that are really, really into the music and the songs and all that shit. So
D Vargas is like, what's up, D? Good to see you, my man. It says, I love Jeff Goldblum. I wish he was my father. That's pretty crazy. He'd be a crazy dad to have, man. So the story of Wicked. So from what you know right now, you know, all the characters kind of made their marks and stuff like that, but you already recognize, or you don't recognize that a lot of these characters do play into the Wizard of Oz story. Like, and I don't know if you're familiar with this yet. So the guy who is the charming dude that's all, you know, the good looking guy that's falling in love with Elphaba, he ends up being the Scarecrow.
So you're just going to spoil everything for me right now.
Well, not spoil. It's already out there, man. You're going to learn today, baby.
You're just going to spoil, like the next movie is coming out. You're just going to sit there and spoil this shit for me.
I can't spoil something that's been out since 2015.
I just told you I don't know anything about it.
All right. Well, I'll give you that one hint then. All right. I'll give you that one hint. I'm not going to tell you why.
So now I know who the Scarecrow is. All right, that's cool.
Well, cool. Everybody's already there.
Thanks, Chris.
In a way, everybody's already there.
Got it.
Right. So
And to everyone
there's
else, and to
so
everyone
many-
else that's listening out there that doesn't know anything, just be careful because this guy Chris is spoiling
I'll
everything
fucking
right now.
spoil it, dude.
Got
I'll
it.
spoil the fuck out of it.
Just so he can show off how much he knows
I'm gonna
about
sh-
fucking
I'm gonna what
Wicked
the
and
fuck is
shit,
this?
bro. Great. Thanks.
Spoil the shit out of it. All right, I won't say anything else anymore.
Thanks,
All right.
Chris.
Well, Wicked's a great story. It's even crazier because there's a book that I don't think they're going to get into, but there's a part 2 to the Wicked story, and it's called El Hijo de Brujo, the son of the witch. And a lot of the stuff is in Spanish because I think the author who wrote Wicked is a Latin guy. It's like a Spanish speaker, if I'm not mistaken. But that's why a lot of the stuff like in film, you'll see that a lot of it's done in Spanish.
Okay.
Like a lot of it. So I thought that was an amazing touch on the story itself. But yeah, everybody did such an amazing job. Highly recommended if you haven't seen it yet. Wicked is a great, fantastic story. Everybody hit their marks compared to what it was in the Broadway musical. You know what's really crazy? And I don't think, well, no, man. I'll wait on that. There's this really beautiful thing that happens in the Broadway musical, but it only happened in the first like season of the Broadway show. Like you'd had to have seen it like in Broadway for you to experience this. And I don't think they're going to do that in this film because there's no way to do it because it happens after the okay. I can explain this in a way. Yeah. So at the very end of a Broadway musical or any type of theater play, like you usually have the entire cast come out and do the bow, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of this film, you have it goes into the Wizard of Oz with the well, I can't spoil it because you already know how the Wizard of Oz is. So like at the end of Wizard of Oz, they do the water, she like melts and all that other shit, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember that in the Wizard of Oz film?
Yes.
Okay, so in this, all the entire cast comes out and they do the big bow at the end, and then they release the actors, and then they release people from their seats, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, in the Wicked story, it's established that guy and Elphaba have like some type of relationship, right? So it's like, oh, how cute or whatever the fuck, right? In the Broadway musical, which was a really nice tip of the hat, which isn't a part of the story, all the actors come out at the end, and Elphaba's not there. They all do the bow because she already went through the trap door in the theater and all this other stuff. So it's a lot for her to like run, go back up the stairs, come back out, and do the bow with the entire crowd and whatnot. It's just really hard for her to do that. So they implemented it into the Broadway show. So they do the big bow, all the actors come out and they all go off stage. And then when everybody's leaving the theater, the guy, the handsome looking guy comes out and knocks on the trap door and opens it and pulls the Elphaba actor up, and then they hug and then they run off stage together. And I thought that was a really great, like a nice send off to the entire story because it ends with the water on Elphaba, the melting. And, that's what the way we believed kills Elphaba in the original Wizard of Oz. And I thought it was just a really nice, like, did they survive? They left them on your cliffhanger or whatever. And then several years later, the author writes the second book, the son of the witch, right? El Hijo de Brujo, El Hijo de Bruja. And I guess I haven't seen that one yet. I haven't read that one, but that one is apparently like a revenge story where the son of both of the people apparently like they have a kid or like he tried to continue the story, but it wasn't as popular as the Wicked performance. So that was cool. I thought that was like very interesting for them to take like an old IP. That's like the Alice in Wonderland, right? Through the Looking Glass or whatever the second film was when they established like the war and the Mad Hatter does the dance and the White Queen. There was so cool of like it's so cool for someone to take these stories from way back in the day and create such an awesome amount of depth. And I think the Wicked story is in that nature too. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. And it's good to hear that you enjoyed it also, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah. Who did you go with? Did you take your little one?
Yeah, I took my daughter. Yeah.
What did she think of it?
She loved it.
She
She's
loved
into
it.
musicals and stuff like that. I told you I would have not.
It wouldn't have
had
been
a
on your
reason.
radar at all, right?
Wouldn't need a reason. Honestly,
I would have been here trying to tell you to go watch it, and you would have been like, not happening.
Probably wouldn't have happened. The only person on this planet that probably could have gotten me to go see the movie got to make me see this movie. So
And
I
what
had
a
to go
blessing.
see it.
And what
Yeah.
a blessing. You really enjoyed
That's
yourself.
pretty
And
good.
thank God,
Yeah, it was
because
good.
the cinema has been fucking dry when it comes to film. So finally we get something that's kind of, and I didn't think it was going to be this good. I did not think Wicked was going to be that good.
It was pretty good.
It was really, really good. So yeah, highly recommended, guys. If you guys get a
Is
chance,
this the movie of the year for you?
oh fuck. I mean, what other options do we got? What other runner-ups?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know. The only other movie I've seen is the fucking Venom 2 movie. You know what I mean? Other than that, it's just a TV show that I've been watching. I don't even know what other movies have come out. But yeah, I could say that this one is a good one, especially for it being what it is. I think it was a solid show. I thought it was a
Okay.
solid movie overall. Are you checking out what movies? Are there any other movies that?
I'm just looking at movies that dropped this year. Yeah, and I mean, not this. I don't
It's pretty
understand.
dry, right?
I don't see anything else that could possibly even compete with this.
Yeah, because I mean, even with that, like Wicked was really good. Like it was fun, good, and like you said, like everyone. I mean, imagine yourself that's not even into these films really enjoyed it. So you're like the everyday guy. You know what I mean in this situation, and if you were able to go and enjoy yourself, like I think that's what it's about when it comes to these type of films.
Yeah.
So I hope it is. Oh, there we go. D says he was a big fan of the Bob Marley movie. I don't know. That's going to be a runner up. Was that in this year? I thought that was last year.
Who gives a fuck? It's a fucking Bob Marley movie. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say.
I think D's fucking with me. He's giving me. Oh,
No, I think he's serious.
What about Gladiator 2? No,
I didn't see it, but I'm
I
pretty
saw
sure.
it.
I'm pretty sure it's not better than this.
Yeah, I saw it, and I don't think it was. I don't think it's in the same. Whoops, that was last year. Yeah, pretty much. D. Yeah, I saw Gladiator 2, and you know what? Gladiator 2 was not that bad.
Oh, Dune Part 2 was this year.
Oh, okay. And you saw Dune 2.
Yeah,
I didn't watch that shit, and you said it was pretty good.
I would probably say Dune is probably movie of the year then.
Yeah, I would
This
say
is I would say this is probably like a close second though. It's like
okay.
1A,
Well, that's not bad at all. It's not
Yeah.
bad at all for what it's worth. I mean, being that it's just like a fucking almost like a Disney musical. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for it to be up there with Dune, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would probably say Dune 2 is probably going to be like, cinematic in the sense that,
And that's just me. I would entertain a
Yeah.
conversation where someone had Wicked as
Over
their number
Dune?
one. Yeah, like I would entertain. Like I would
entertain that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, I mean, for what it's worth, like I said, I think the
And
only
Bob,
thing that was
in the Bob Marley movie, a close third.
Yo, let me ask you, because it was different for you because the way that you went into this film. What was like your least most liked part of this film of Wicked?
Of this?
Yeah.
The least.
I mean, I wouldn't think you're gonna be like remembering everything about this
No,
film.
I mean I liked it to the point where I remember a lot of it. Honestly, there's nothing that stands out that I didn't like about it. I mean, it was long as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
that
that.
was-
Maybe that. There was some times where I started like nodding off, but
You know
then
what
they would
part-
always do something that would bring me back to wake up. But if there was anything that I didn't like about the movie, is that it was so fucking long.
I wasn't a big fan of the rendition that they did for when Elphaba gets accepted and she starts running around the fucking campus singing, and then she ends up like at a creek and she's singing like in the back in the desert, like in a big open like mountain area. I don't know if you remember that. It's like right at the beginning when she gets accepted to the school after she has the blow up.
I watched a new Rockstars breakdown when I got home, and I know what scene you're talking about when she's on like the back of the school in the corn or the little wheat fields.
Yeah.
She's bordering the now one part of it that I thought was interesting that I personally would like to know more about is like the whole desert, like the dangerous desert part about the outskirts of where the school is or where everything is surrounded, and like the whole geography of where everything is. Like that to me is the more interesting than anything for me.
That's a good point. Yeah, because it all kind of like factors in one area. You know what I mean? And then you got to take like a crazy ass like Willy Wonka train to get to the Oz city. Like what is in between all of that nature? Like what's the outskirts of
and
that kingdom?
they kind of like
Touch
there's
base
a
on
map. Yeah, there's a map that has everything mapped out with like Munchkinville and some places that were named. Again, if you ever get a chance to watch the new Rockstars breakdown, they go through like all of everything in depth and not give away the fucking second movie.
Oh yeah,
Chris.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But they go through very in-depth uh breakdown of all the Easter eggs and stuff like that. And they did show that like the professor again, spoilers, I don't want to give it away, but the Professor Goat was teaching something that has to do with a different book that was made before the actual first movie came out of Wizard of Oz, and they just do like a whole bunch of homages to old school, because I didn't realize how many fucking books there were
To the Oz.
associated with the Wizard of Oz, but apparently
Yeah.
there's like a shit ton,
Yeah.
and they were digging all the way back to that stuff and putting it in the movie. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good. They're just building up the universe and the lore and shit like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And it's like I said, like that was like the whole thing of me falling in love with Wicked in the first place, which was like they were just building the universe onto things that I wanted to know when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because when I was young, the reason why I was so into the Wizard of Oz is because it was like a family movie that we would watch. Like it would come out like on the regular television. We had like 4 channels that was
Yeah.
in our neighborhood, which was like channel 4, 5, and 23. And then later it was like Fox or whatever. But it was one of those like when the Christmas time or like when a certain time of the year would happen, the Wizard of Oz would come out on TV. Judy Garland was always a G, and the rest of the guys in the show. Like I thought it was just great. So yeah, like I said, Wicked is a very good movie. If you get a chance, highly recommended. You know, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it like a 9. You know, a high 8.5 to 9. It could it be better? Yeah, I mean that's any movie. It's not like a perfect film. Of course, like being super long and shit like that was like yeah, but highly recommended. So you guys make sure you get an opportunity to go check it out. And Brian loved it, which is super crazy because I mean, yeah, I thought it was crazy when you said you watched it.
Yeah,
Like,
I would definitely give it like a good 8.
Yeah.
It was just way too fucking long for me, for my taste.
Yeah, true that. Good shit. All right, onwards into the second to the end of the last part of the conversation. We're going to be jumping right into DC Universe now. We had the opportunity to watch Creature Commandos. Brian, how did you appeal to
Nah.
You're gonna put me out there, huh?
Yeah, you know how this is gonna go, brother. We
I thought it was
know how this is gonna go, brother. Yeah, we're not starting with me, sir. We're not starting with me. I need to know for the viewers and the listeners and everyone around the world that's listening, even the people in Dubai. I need to know, sir. We definitely have people in Dubai. There's definitely people in Dubai. There's definitely
love it.
1000%.
Love it. Thank you guys
There's
for Dubai.
there's at least one person in Dubai. I need to know what you thought about James Gunn's first introduction into the new DC universe. By the way, that is a fact. This is our first entrance. This is a fact. This is his first entrance into the new revamped DC universe. And what were your thoughts on this? Like, why would you go with an animated fucking show as your first? And whatever, I digress.
I thought it was shit, dude. I didn't like it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like it.
All right. What? Okay. All right. Let's kind of like unpack this and break.
Yeah. Let's unpack. Yeah.
All right. I need to know specifically. Well, first off, let's just start here. Right? Are you a James Gunn fan? I know the answer, and most people know, but just so that we know, are you a James Gunn fan?
As a person, no. I think he's a piece of shit. As a director, with Guardians of the Galaxy 3 being his like top works, Guardians 1 through 3 was fantastic. Suicide Squad movie, kind of bit the bullet. It's like a middle range 7, maybe a 6. I kind of see this in the same format as how and Peacemaker was of course a great job. But I think that was carried more because of John Cena's delivery and the guy that plays the vigilante dude more than it being a James Gunn IP. Like I think they were the purpose that show did good. Yeah, other than that, like I think this is a first fail for an animated series for DC's universe. Like, and DC does animated series really fucking well. And I just
what about it? Now let's get into specifics. What about it?
It was a lot of like that dry dick and balls humor that James Gunn does.
Which,
Like
and I don't want to cut you off, but I said from the very beginning, this is what his problem is going to be.
yeah,
This
no,
is
I
the
agree.
hurdle. This is the hurdle that he's gonna run into taking over something like Superman. Is
Yeah.
that he has a very distinct taste.
Yep.
You're either a James Gunn guy or you're not.
Or you're not.
There's no really in between, really.
Yeah.
So if you're not into like his style of
Humor.
vulgar profanity, morbid jokes, you're
Yeah,
probably not gonna like. I don't know if Superman was the best IP to give this guy, but anyway,
Yeah.
okay. So the
No,
dick
I
and
100%
balls.
agree. I 100% agree.
So
Being that
too
this
much
was his
dick and
first,
balls.
yeah, continue, dick and balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was just a lot of weird, obnoxious humoral jokes that were put in there that I think kind of like, I wouldn't say they like flew over because I knew what they were talking about, but they were just like, they were so on the nose. Like a lot of them were like right on the sleeve that you knew that would have been like the lowest like hanging fruit that you could make fun of, and that's what he went with. And it's identical to the same type of humor he used in the Suicide Squad movie. So like the Creature Commandos literally falls right into like right in place right after the Suicide Squad films. Like you could see where that film plays like a role in the direction as where this animated film is going. Other than that, I just see it as a very Dollar General version of The Boys. And I don't feel like it's going to work when it comes to like Superman and Batman and all these other guys. Like it's crazy because today I just saw that James Gunn is trying to find a way to put the Robert Patterson DC into his Batman or as his Batman in this universe. And it's like I don't see that working because Matt Reeves did an amazing job with the Batman films and with the Penguin series and all this stuff. Like I'm excited for what Matt Reeves is going to do, being that he's disconnected from James Gunn. Like I don't know. Like it's just like yeah, it just I don't know. Like it just didn't sit for me. It didn't sit for me. What about you?
So,
Like, or go ahead.
I was gonna say so. None of the characters you liked.
I think the Bride is pretty cool.
Okay.
I think the Bride character is pretty badass. Like as a female heroine, and then they're bringing in Circe. They bring in what was the girl's name that they brought in? That was the Wonder Woman villain. I can't even remember her because she's so like out of nowhere. She's like a fucking. That's like a super deep cut in the Wonder Woman universe.
Yeah.
But they brought her in. I thought that was cool because they're not going to use Wonder Woman because they haven't even established that Wonder Woman is even around in this nature.
The villain. You're talking about the villain. Okay, yeah.
So like, I think it's okay. It kind of makes the world seem a lot smaller. That a lot of like, there's a lot less people with superpowers in this world. If this chick's going to be fighting the Amazonians, and then all of a sudden is I don't know, like a retrieving person for Frankenstein to go find the bride or whatever. Like she just gets hired to do a bunch of weird shit. Rick Flag, they ended up establishing that his son was the person that was in the movies, and now this dude, which is Frank Grillo, which is Crossbones from the Marvel Universe, that he's now the Rick Flag of this universe as an older dad version. Yeah, like every time they could show like a crotch shot or Weasel peeing or licking his balls or doing something, like James Gunn did not shy away from that in a heartbeat. And I mean, other than that, I don't really see it. Like I don't know. Creature Commandos is like again a watered down version of them just having the Suicide Squad. They even had to like mention that in the first 5 seconds for us to realize it as the audience, that they were like, oh, I thought they couldn't have a Suicide Squad. And it's like, oh, well, they're not even human. Or it's like, I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, come on, man. It's the same stuff. You're just saying that they're not alive, but it's the same exact bullshit. Just keep it a Suicide Squad because you got bigger names in it that you could fuck with and you could make it work. Like you could keep recycling all the shit characters you get rid of that are all the B-roll villains in the DC universe and fuck them up in the Suicide Squad. But you want to introduce a bunch of dumbass Universal Studios characters for no fucking reason that no one, man, I don't know. Because let me ask you, being a DC fan,
yeah,
wouldn't it have been way fucking cooler to see Solomon Grundy than a fucking Frankenstein character?
Maybe.
That would have been, I mean, it is fucking Solomon Grundy. That's literally what he is in the DC universe. And
Maybe.
He's their version of the Hulk. You know what I mean?
That's not what we got though.
Yeah, no, fuck no. James Gunn's like, nah, dude, I want to take the weirdest characters. Like, well, okay, so me, I didn't dig it. I think the story was weak. I think the fucking characters were I guess characters, like they all talk words or whatever. What about you? What did you think of it?
I'm gonna just respectfully disagree. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We only got the first 2 episodes. I watched them both. Um, I enjoyed it. I do think that, and spoiler alerts, like the whole the bride getting fucked, that was a bit much. Um, but other than that, I don't have any issues with anything else. I thought it's James Gunn, and I'm kind of on board with like the whole uh dick and balls and crotch shots and fucking a dead corpse thing. Like it's kind of
It
it's
sticks
kind
on you.
it I don't know if it sticks on me, but I don't find it like as disgusting. Well, let's kind of backpedal a little bit. The one issue that I did have was the fucking of the corpse.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little I don't know, that was a little bit
A little
iffy.
much.
That was a little bit much. But everything else I'm cool with. I think the characters are great. I think this is where James Gunn shines, is taking these obscure characters and doing something with them, whether it be in live animation or, you know, animated. Um I think that from, again, this is still premature because we only got the first 2 episodes. I dug it. I enjoyed it. I didn't think too much into it. When I'm watching something from James Gunn, dude, I don't know how much I'm gonna have my brain turned on. It's just mindless entertainment. You know,
Mhm.
it's our nerd version of uh, uh just, what do you call it? That kind of TV that you just
That you
watch
just
just to
play and
watch.
just watch.
Yeah,
Just
you know
turn
what I'm
your mind
saying?
off.
It's, yeah, it's like our version of that, and I took it for that. I felt that going into it, so I didn't have any expectations. I think another thing that helps out is that there aren't any expectations, because again, these are very uh they're very
Throwaway characters.
obscure. Yeah, they're very obscure characters, so there's really no expectations. Now, if this was like a Batman show or something that had Solomon Grundy in it, then there's going to be some expectations. So I think, again, this is where he kind of shines. This is where he kind of uh does his best work, and I liked it. I enjoyed it, and I'm gonna continue to watch it. I don't really see a reason to not.
Do you feel like when it comes to what James Gunn has been kind of like standing on business when it comes to him taking over the DC universe and all this stuff, do you feel like this was like a weak start or do you feel like this was an okay start?
I don't think it was I don't think, if you're going to, honestly, I don't know. That's a very good question. Maybe you do a soft rollout like this. Maybe you give them something that is not so near and dear to to
More
everyone's heart.
digestible?
Not even digestible, because there's going to be a lot of people that have a problem with. I watch Grace Randolph's uh breakdown of the first 2 episodes, and she hated it. So like,
Oh wow.
there's gonna be a lot of people that don't like it. But it's better than taking something like Superman as your first entrance and shitting the bed on that, and then there's no recovering from it. At
Yeah.
least now he's got something that at least half the people that watch it like it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that if it was smart, maybe. But this is all just white noise until that Superman movie comes out, or at least the trailer comes out, and then we'll see what's going on with the
I mean,
DC.
for me, it's a little bit weird, right? Because you know, I look at all these. It was the same way we talked about like the Joker too, right? Where one part was, I think you and I were talking about it, and you said, you know what, like this guy, who cares? He made a shit movie on purpose. Like he wanted to fuck over the industry or whatever. He wanted to fuck over the studio. You know, he doesn't give a shit. Like, you know, more power to him and stuff like that. And I feel like it's like almost a contractual obligation that these people need to provide a service that they're hired for. And the thing is like with James Gunn, I'm not saying like these first 2 episodes of this animated cartoon are going to be like his make or break. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there was a slate that was created a while back that this was supposed to be like his first like footstep into the creation of his DC universe. And I don't know, man. Like it's like you're saying, like it's cool because it's minor. It's it's coming in kind of like a soft entry to the whole thing, and it's supposed to be establishing like like we're supposed to be excited for Superman and all this other stuff, which is where like I mean I think you said it in it where you were like it would probably be the first thing that should have been established first, which is Superman or at least one of the Trinities characters like to be established as the DC universe, but it's not. It's this because this is what James Gunn said. Like this is it. This is going to establish everything. I feel like it's very weak. I feel like we've been fans of the DC universe, Marvel comics, and all this other stuff, and we can safely agree that the animated series for the DC universe have always been bangers. Like they all compete with the bigger films in some way. And I don't feel as hyped for this. And it wasn't because I was going into it not hyped or that I was going into it, like you say, with low expectations. I was going into this expecting it to be not just an animated TV show, but like an animated film establishing a universe. If that makes sense. Like I expected it to be higher. It's like when you're watching like DBZ compared to the DBZ films. Like, you know what I mean? You're expecting for the film to be like the animation's going to be more better because the money going into it's bigger, the sound quality, the music, everything is going to be at a higher level because it's supposed to be something that's establishing something bigger than just the regular stuff. And some of the regular series and regular films beat this animation like to the shit. The original Suicide Squad cartoon is a million times better than this series. Like a million times better than this animation wise. I think it was Madhouse that did it. But yeah, like I don't know, like and I get it. I get the idea that James Gunn does very well with obscure characters. Oh, this is why we have, Creature Commandos and we're getting the Authority and all these other weird fucking characters. But what does it say for the main characters that are like the main IPs of the DC universe? Like, the Weasel character, like I get it. His brother needs a job and no one's hiring except for him. But like this guy constantly saves his brother in all his characters. You know what I mean? He constantly brings in Kraglin and
I'm not gonna fault the guy for nepotism. Like
no, I mean because he does that with
if you were in his situation, you would do the
you would
exact
hire
same
friends. Yeah, I get it, and brothers and cousins and all this.
So I'm not gonna dock the guy points for that. Like
I mean,
I'm tired of that argument. I hear other people say that shit. Like, dude, if you were doing this, you have said it before. You have said it before, and other people have said it as well. And I get it, but I'm not gonna dock him for doing something that everyone in the world would do if they had the chance, bro.
Well, like I said, I think I understand why he does it, and his wife had like the coolest thing in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 when she gets shot and she starts screaming or whatever. Yeah. Like fuck, dude, I'll never forget that. I thought that was like the funniest fucking thing throughout the whole thing. But I didn't know that was his wife at first. After researching it and figuring out, like I figured it was his wife from the Peacemaker show. But it's just, I mean, I get it, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about him doing the same shit that he's going to do with Peacemaker, which is where he's bringing the entire fucking cast back and the story is canon now because he's in charge of the universe. But the only thing that's not canon is the Justice League when they come out. And it's like, how the fuck does that work? Like, how are you going to shoehorn in that the Justice League's not around, but these characters are?
Basically the same thing of what I was just talking about because of John Cena. John Cena was part of his Suicide Squad movie. So again, that's nepotism. That's going to be something like, all right, you were in my movie. I'm
gonna roll you in.
I'm gonna roll you in.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll you in. I get that, but I still think it's like
I'm gonna roll you in.
Kind of shit.
And it again, I'm not gonna fault him for that. And to be honest with you, I'm not mad at Peacemaker. Like I thought he was a bright spot in the Suicide Squad movie.
True, 100%.
I've never watched the show, but everyone loves the show. So yeah, fuck it, bring him in.
It's pretty funny. I mean, it has it's because he does a lot of like the trauma style films, which is like the Toxic Avengers and like all the trauma. I forgot what it's called. It's called something like that. And he's a really big fan of it. That's where he kind of grew up making his films. And he has a lot of the people that are in those films that also kind of correlate in his films. Okay. So like, of course, like the the overarching like sex jokes, the gore sex, the violence sex, all that stuff is going to be something that's like super common in his films. So like the idea of like the character of Weasel is going to be like right down his alley. Like that's going to be someone that he can like literally get away with a lot of that stuff. It's like Trauma, or I forgot what the name of it. But yeah, I don't know, like I get what it is, but the trope of like a Suicide Squad being titled a different title because he doesn't want to work with the Suicide Squad because of the other two films. I don't know. I kind of feel like this one kind of fell right in place with it also. I just need to see with what they're going to do because I guess they're going to establish the mythological part with Frankenstein and all this other stuff, and they got to make it relatable that you kind of enjoy these characters or whatever. And then you got to establish that she's like kind of reigns into like the magical world because of the fact on how they use magic and science with her character, and she fights against magical characters, you know, kind of like that line between Constantine and like Aragon, or what's his name? Yeah, I think that's his name. Oh, Etrigan, the demon that raps or whatever. Do you know what I'm talking about? What?
Oh no. Something. This is sports related thing. Sorry.
Oh shit! What was it, man?
Do you know who Juan Soto is?
From Star Wars.
Yeah, no, never mind, dude.
Well, what is it? What is it? Who is he? Tell me.
He's a baseball player who's like probably one of the best baseball players in the league.
Mhm.
There's been like this bidding war on who was going to sign him, and he just signed to the Mets for $765 million fucking dollars.
That's amazing.
Jesus Christ. And it's crazy because he played on the Yankees the year before, last year when they went to the World Series, and now he's jumping to the Mets, which is a shot to the dick, bro.
That's crazy.
But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's good. It's
I want to get back to you shitting on James Gunn, bro.
That's awesome. But yeah, okay, so yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's like a 6, maybe a 5 out of 10. I really didn't care for it too much. I don't really like, or I don't really see it as a big plan into the DC universe, as this is like the first step into going to what we're going to be seeing for like the Superman movie or whatever else is supposed to be coming out after this shit. Yeah. Like it just doesn't excite me at all, man. It doesn't excite me at all. Kind of actually drops the ball. I really don't even care to watch the rest of the series. I really didn't even get involved with the first 2 episodes. So
I think everyone that heard your recap kind of get.
Yeah. Well, what about you? Okay, so I mean, look, my biggest excuse, not the target audience, dude. I'm not the target audience.
That's fair. That's fine.
Yeah. Brian, how about you? I know you probably
I am 1000% the target audience for this. So yeah, I'm gonna watch some more. I'm gonna watch it until I think that it's not something I want to watch anymore. So I'm gonna continue to watch it. Now, if you ask me if watching this gets me excited for the Superman project, no, because again, the person that made this should be nowhere near a Superman project.
Yeah.
If you wanted to produce it, that's fine, but to run the whole show, I think that's a bit too much. So I'm just gonna sit back and see how that plays out. But Creature Commando, for what that is, I'm interested. I'm here.
Yeah, there was a part of me that was like when in I want to say it's the second episode, they go to that other country where the bride is from, and they have that Knight character, the guy that's the guard or whatever. Like that's why I imagine they're gonna write like Clark Kent saying jokes when he's all what is it? He's all, we say what's up and we do a bunch of American things. Look at us, we're not aliens. Like, nah, we're human, man. Look at me. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude, this guy's fucking killing me, man. Like there's parts of me that I'm just like, oof, man. But yeah, I get it. You know, some people, like I said, like it has its humor that's based in like, it's like dark humor when it comes to it. Like I said, it's a lot of cock jokes and stuff like that. So like, you know,
I find cock jokes funny, bro.
Yeah, I'm dude. I like The Boys, man. The Boys is a big dick joke. So
I was literally gonna say that I have scatterbrain today. I can't focus. Like I'm just exhausted. But like I was gonna say that earlier. Like you watch The Boys, and this is where you draw the line. This is too
No,
much
no,
for
no.
you.
Okay, so let me explain why this factors into it. I expect that from the boys because that's what the
Okay.
source material is like.
Okay.
DC was this. DC never really felt like Marvel. You know what I mean? Like it was always like your generic bang bang pow, more of the Silver Age comic books for a very very long time, very very long time. That's why a lot of people don't like Superman is because he's too perfect or he's the golden boy or like the Boy Scout or whatever people want to call him. That's why they don't like his character, and that's why they went into this whole thing where they sent him off to Mongols world, world, the Superman World War or whatever, when they put him in a gladiator world. They made the John Kent, they made him bisexual. Like they needed to add this flair of relativity for people that are like the modern age Gen Z kind of kids so that they could kind of like Superman more. And Superman was always a normal character. Like that's his whole shtick, you know what I mean? Like, but they didn't have to change him just to get people to want to like him again. They just had to, revamp him, I guess. And the DC universe itself is in that same format. It's an older generation of comic book writing that kind of feels a little bit old and nostalgic. And I think James Gunn sits on this whole new I don't know. I don't know if you felt the same way when it came to like Shazam, right? Like The Rock brought in this whole new like new age flavor to the DC universe compared to what we were getting with like the Snyderverse when it came to like the heroes, right? A lot of the characters were like they were put on a pedestal. And I've talked about this before, where DC Universe, we look at them as gods amongst men. We look at them as these people that are like, in the DC Universe, like no one can ever train to be Bruce Wayne or train to be Superman because they're always better than us. In the DC Universe, people go to the gym or the Marvel Universe and they want to lift weights because they want to be like Spider-Man or they want to be like Wolverine or like they're relatable. They're relatable. You relate more to the Marvel characters because they're more street level. But like the DC characters were never written that way. They were written as comic book characters, like heroes, like almost like Greek mythology almost. So like to see it come into this nature where you get a guy like James Gunn to come in and it's all like weird, the boys style humor, you don't really, the brain is kind of like different when you're a fan of the original IP. I guess that's my problem, right? That's not everyone's problem because again, Peacemaker was accepted very well. A lot of people thought it was really, really good. And I thought it was very good too, but of course it was just written differently from the way it was in the comics. So like this kind of humor, this kind of writing, it kind of takes me out of wanting for them to do a Superman. You know what I mean? It takes me out of it. It takes me out of them wanting to do a Batman. And I think we talked about that a very long time ago when we were establishing the idea that you had Robert Patterson's Batman and Matt Reeves' Batman, and it was so dark and different that there was no way that character was going to work in a James Gunn universe. There was just no way. The moment he touches it, someone's going to tell Bruce Wayne he saw his dick once in a comic book or whatever. And Bruce Wayne's going to look at him and make a face or whatever. So like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's not my forte in the way that they're writing the stories or the way it's popping off already. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying right now it's not for me. And it doesn't give me it doesn't give me hope. It doesn't give me hope for the Superman series right now.
Okay. I definitely understand it and I respect it. I'm just used to it. I told you I've been saying this for a better part of a year that you give this guy the shot to give you Superman and Batman, and
You're gonna get something wild.
it's gonna come out the way you expect it. So and at this point, we're just along for the ride, man. So let's just.
And I think if I'm not
it is.
mistaken, wasn't it like last week or the week before, like they released the Superman trailer that they showed in house, and like the people fucking hated it, right?
They didn't show it yet. No.
I could have sworn I just heard that like last week. No, I know it hasn't been.
Yeah, they are going to show a trailer to a specific a small group of reporters and journalists and things like that. But he's not. That got pushed back. It was
okay. Good. Because I heard that with like a small test group, like it completely went to shit, and then they did it a second time, and the second test group that was in house, like they really really liked it.
Yeah, no. So remember how you and I were arguing about I won't say a long time ago, but a little while ago, how he isn't showing anything at these
Yes.
cons and shit like that.
Yeah.
Remember How? And I was telling you because he doesn't have anything to show.
Yeah. I remember that
It's
shit.
it's because this is just me using my common sense. It's because he doesn't have anything to show. This is not turning out well.
That's messy, right?
This Superman movie is not turning out the way that he's expecting it. And that's the reason why we haven't gotten a trailer yet. That's the reason why he's only showing a limited amount of people the trailer so far. Like this is turning into a shit show.
Yeesh.
And he's gonna have to fix it. He hasn't been getting a lot of good reviews from the screenshots that we've been getting about what the Superman costume looks like, what the other characters look like. Like this is just not turning out well, and I hope he fixes it. I hope he figures it out. I really do hope he figures it out because there's a lot riding on this fucking movie, and he's only gonna get one shot at this.
Yeah.
I agree. If he bombs this Superman movie, it's over. That's checkmate. Like no one's gonna come out to see. No one's gonna come out and watch another fucking DC movie while he's attached to it.
Yeah, so, can you imagine if the Superman movie ended up being worse than the Shazam movie?
Yeah, I mean it's not looking good at this point. Like let's just say at this point because nothing's finalized. They're still shooting. They're still doing a lot. But from what I'm seeing, and again, you know, going back to our conversation when you were like, "Yo, bro, why don't you have anything?" And I was like, "Yo, don't rush it. Like, don't rush it because if you rush it and send something and send something out that's lackluster or something that doesn't look well, there's no turning back from that. Like, so take your time, figure out. I don't care if we get trailer fished and it looks like the best movie of all time, and then it turns out to be a piece of shit. But when you come out with this trailer, dude, or your first look at this movie, you got to knock this one out. It's got to hit. It's got to hit. Yeah, you got to knock this out the park.
Otherwise, can you imagine like Superman is like he's the hero.
He's the guy. He's the
guy. Like you can't fucking drop the ball on that shit. You really can't. You really can't. If he drops the ball on Superman at the very beginning, he loses all traction.
Yeah. If you can't get Superman right, then you're not gonna give hope to anybody else that you will get anything else right.
Yeah, that's 100%. Well, fuck, I didn't realize that. So Brian, for me, I'm gonna give the show right now. It's only 2 episodes. It's kind of a dick thing for me to do, but I'm running it like a low 6, maybe middle of the ground 6 out of 10.
I'll give it like a good 7.5.
Okay. Kind of like a good sit down, having the background kind of like going off kind of thing. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, guys, if you do check it out, let us know what you think. Creature Commandos out on HBO right now. It's the first ever introduction to the soft touchdown for the new DC universe that's going to be popping up by James Gunn, and I can't remember the other guy's name. What's the other guy's name that went in with him? Do you remember? David what?
Peter Safran.
Peter Sazloff, right? Safran? Sazloff. Yeah. Who's Sazloff?
Zaslav
is just the name I made up.
No, he's the CEO of like HBO and HBO Max.
Oh shit. Okay. So Peter
Safran. He's the one tanking his company so he can sell it.
Damn. Disney's coming to save this guy.
This is deeper than and I think James Gunn has a lot to do with this. I think the reason why he was given the job is because I think that David Zaslav is just tanking so he can sell, or
because he wants to get rid of it.
Yeah, I think Warner Brothers and HBO and I think they're tanking this shit, bro.
For just the DC universe, or
no, the whole fucking company,
the whole fucking studio, the whole studio. Shit. This guy's just like, nah, man. I just want to own a Dairy Queen. I want to get the fuck out of this.
I think they're tanking this shit. So,
damn,
and that would make sense as why you would have someone as nutty as fucking James Gunn, the head of your fucking DC department,
your fucking whole fucking video game universe. Yo, straight. That's crazy. And maybe my prophecy will happen that Disney will buy out DC soon. That'll be nuts.
I don't like that.
I know. We talked about it a long time ago. I was like,
yeah, they need to be separate. They need to be separate.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Okay, onwards into the last part of our conversation for the night. We won't take too long. I'm coming in with like shorts, like short and curlies here. I don't really know too much about it, but I have seen the trailers. But Brian got to check it out, and we have a review for Brian on the Star Wars Skeleton Crew. Brian,
Yep.
so the show just dropped. You know, it's kind of very, from what I saw online, very Goonies esque. You know, the way that they shot it, very.
Wait, you haven't seen any? You
I
haven't
haven't.
seen this
I've
at
only
all?
seen the trailers.
Okay.
I've only seen the trailer, which I'm super sorry. This is something I should be caught up on because it's Star Wars, and we don't got much Star Wars material to talk about. And I love Star Wars, and of course the trailer we talked about it. You know, I thought it was really charming. You know, a bunch of kids, the Goonies. You know, getting that whole space adventure happening. I think it's great for the generation of Star Wars that we're in right now, especially since it wants to get away from the Skywalker saga. How we're going to build on this universe. So for them to give us like neighborhoods and suburban areas and kids going to school, like I think that's really fun. Them not needing to be younglings, you know, a target on their backs from Anakin or whatever. You know, these kids just going around doing cool stuff. That's from what I got from it. But how many episodes are out and what did you get to watch and what did you think of it?
Just like Creature Commandos, the first two dropped
Oh,
at the
nice.
same time. So there's two out in circulation right now. I liked it. I know a lot of people, and that's the consensus that a lot of people enjoyed it. Again, it's only the first two episodes, so there's going to be a lot to still digest and look and monitor. But for the first two episodes, I enjoyed it. It's exactly how you described it. It's exactly how I was going into this. It's basically just a Star Wars Goonies Amblin movie, and that's exactly what you're getting. There's a few twists to already in the first two episodes as to
Nice.
what's going on. You have an outlook on what you're looking at, and then by the second episode it's kind of turned on its head.
Nice.
So and then it turns into like a Goonie adventure to like almost like a rescue mission type thing, and it's yeah, it's pretty dope. I don't want to get too much into it because you haven't seen it, and I know a lot of people who haven't seen it in the comments, but I'm enjoying it. I think that if you it's got for me, it's got the Star Wars feeling. You know, it's how do I put this without giving too much away? Like it still touches on some things that are uh in the Star Wars realm, but it's like it's own little story. It's its own world building, and but still connected with the Star Wars galaxy and stuff like that. So I would say give it a shot. Anyone that's teetering whether or not they want to watch it or not. Um, it may not be for you if you're not if you're if you're at an age where that whole mystical adventure kids start like Goonies thing is a little bit past you. I totally understand it, but for me,
Okay.
um, that's exactly what you're gonna get here, and you just have to be on board with that. And if
Did
you
it
are,
did it
then
have a lot of that that nostalgia vibe like when you were
yeah,
watching? Like did it
yeah,
kind of like take
you
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 back a little bit?
definitely get heavy Goonies. You get heavy ET,
Nice.
all that Spielberg shit that we watch as kids, bro. You get heavy of that, but Star Wars,
That's
you
badass.
know?
I kind of feel like we've been kind of like without that in so long in the
Yeah,
cinema world. Like a lot of like the younger generation, I don't think they've really, other than Stranger Things, you don't really get a lot of that opportunity to really get that like child adventure. Like, you know, everybody riding their bikes down the street and
yeah,
then you just kind of course off into like the woods or whatever and you just do your own adventure. I kind of feel like there's like a lackluster in that in recent cinema years, other
yeah,
than, of course, you know, Stranger Things, but that's like, a series that's like episodical like over and over again. So like, you know, Disney will probably do 5, 8, 9 episodes of this and then, you know, kind of like one and gun it and then turn it into like a film later or something or establish some type of like ideal to build on it, right? Because the Mandalorian and Ahsoka and all this other stuff. Um what would
this
be
is
like,
this is taking place during like the Ahsoka time
oh,
and all
okay.
that stuff. And I was confused as to where
When and where?
when this was taking place, and then I think I watched New Rock Stars because that was the only reason why I watched it, is so that someone could tell me when this takes place, and I think they said that it takes place around like the Ahsoka time.
Okay.
Uh, the only thing that I think I would have changed, because you brought up something about damn, I just had it too, but that last part just kind of like fucked me up. But I think the only thing, oh yeah, so the only thing that I think that I would change about this show is that I would age them up a little bit. Not like full grown adults,
Like
but like
teenage?
yeah, older teens, like maybe like 14, 15, maybe even 16.
Is it because let me just ask this out in the open. Like, is it because of like the action? Like it doesn't seem like it's like too
Yeah. So
realistic.
like the action is like the Goonies action where there's a lot of like crawling through the legs type shit. Like they
Yeah, yeah.
like they're basically fighting grown men. They're in conflicts and altercations with full
With
grown
fucking
men
full grown ass people, yeah.
and droids and shit like that. So like what are they really gonna fucking do? They
So
don't
it
have
does it
blasters. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They're not wielding guns and blasters and shit like that, or
is
like
it
or
very corny
lightsabers.
like the Obi-Wan Princess Leia scene in the
Exactly.
forest?
Like
Oh
a
man.
whole show. But
Yeah.
like the difference is the Obi-Wan, you don't expect that. In this, you expect that. Like you
Yeah,
expect
because you're going
that.
into it with that ideal, right?
Yeah, you expect that. I would have aged them up to where they were kind of more suitable to have physical contact and physical altercations with
The
adults.
adults, the bigger guys.
Yeah, with adults. I think that would be the only thing I changed about that show.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, especially when it comes to like yeah, like you said, where it's like they're fighting adults in real life situations, and you have these kids that are kind of like playing,
Yeah.
that they're in this like, oh no, guys,
I'm
let's
just
fucking
yeah, like they're lost. So like they don't have an artillery army with them, and they have like this
yeah.
one droid. They have this old droid that is, and that's the only spoiler I'll give you. It's not even the spoiler,
It's the one
but
he's
they,
in the trailer. I saw him. He's
yeah,
like the one from Rogue One
yeah,
or something.
exactly,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. So you have this one droid that's like their bodyguard slash escort slash pilot, you know, and then they're trying to get back home, and they're getting into altercations with like groups of badass uh
Like pirates, space pirates or some
pirates,
shit. Yeah.
basically. It's pirates. And so, like, how are they going to defend themselves? So, there's going to be a whole bunch of like Goofy running from them and trying to hide
Mhm.
and juking them out type shit. It's going to be a lot of that. If you age them up a little bit, at least they can, like, I don't know, grab a blaster
Yeah,
and
well, they
shoot.
could be like the Ahsoka character where she's like fucking doing flips and throwing kicks. Like it's more, I guess, like your mind goes, well, yeah, I could see that happening or whatever. Like
Yeah.
it's not unfair to see that like Ahsoka was in like all the Clone Wars as a teenager.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I do understand that. Or even like
But even with Ahsoka, she's a Jedi. These are just normal fucking kids.
the normal
Like
kids that are just
these are
going to
just
school
yeah,
and shit.
they don't have the force. Like spoiler alert, like it's none of that. Like there's no force.
It's just kids.
It's just regular fucking grade school kids that get lost in fucking space. And
Well,
they're
I
trying to
mean,
find
you
their way
know
back
what?
home.
It's kind of like in the last trilogy films when they go to the horse race and the kids are they kind of like, you know, rebel against the dude that's with the horses or whatever, and
Yeah.
they do their little like the cheering, and you know those kids are gonna get fucking hammered when the Jedi's all leave and they gotta beat the shit out of them. So all those kids are just gonna get whooped by the fucking owner later.
Yeah.
But like you're kind of like, yeah, kids, yeah. So it's like those kind of actions, right?
Yeah, basically.
Oh
Yeah.
no, that sucks. Those kids are gonna
Yeah.
get fucking reamed, man.
But the adventure, the story writing, the acting is not a strong point. Some of those kids annoy the fuck out of me.
Yeah,
But
the little elephant one, or what?
the elephant, actually, I like him. I like him.
Mm.
It's the little elephant character. I actually
Is he
like
the
him.
little is he the little chubby one or what? Is he a little
He's like
fat?
he's like the chubby
Yeah. The chunk or whatever.
the
He's
chunk.
gonna
Yeah,
do
he's
the
like yeah,
shuffle and shit.
but but he's like more of a square. You know what I'm saying? He's like a nerdy
Yeah.
school book kid. That's what I'm saying. Like
Everybody's got a trope and shit.
yeah, like these are the kids that are supposed to be on this adventure running from like these badass pirates. There's not a badass of any of them. Like
Yeah, there's no badass bone in any of them.
yeah, like they're all just scared kids that are trying to get home and have this droid as their fucking tour guide. And it's But
could,
the story itself is interesting. Like I said, there's a twist even in episode 2 as to what exactly is going on. Like what you thought was going on in episode 1 kind of gets flipped as to what is actually going on in episode 2, and that's cool.
basing it on what you've seen, what kind of synopsis can you give us about the show? Like just a
I
summary.
think I
Of
gave it. Yeah, I think I gave it. It's like it's basically just these kids that uh I don't want to give away too much. It's just these kids that fuck around and uh let's take it back. These I can tell you this is these kids that are in school and the main character, the short, I don't know what if he's black or mixed, or I don't know what he
Mhm.
is, but he wants to travel and be a fucking um explorer because he's tired of his mundane life. He doesn't know what he wants to be when he grows up. All these other kids know what they want to be when they grow up, and he just has no fucking idea. But he wants to go explore. He wants to be a traveler. He feels like there's something more out there in a galaxy that he wants to do. And it's
Ray,
not,
he's
and
pretty
it,
much Ray.
yeah, and it's not on this planet that he's living on. And he gets it, and he drags these other kids with him, and next thing you know, they're all in fucking space being chased by
Fucking
space
pirates.
pirates. Yeah, basically.
Jesus Christ, man. Well, that just sounds like a regular base. It's just a regular basic, like
It's it's like one of those Amblin 80s, 90s adventure
story.
stories. Like one of those stories you'll pick up one of those like detective books, or one of those Nancy Drew books that you find laying on the floor in the libraries type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of those.
That's funny.
It's definitely one of those with like some Spielberg
Oh,
flair
look,
to
dude,
it
even
with
as a
some money
matter of
behind
fact,
it.
look at this shirt, baby.
Exactly. There you go.
Boom, baby.
There you go. And just add a couple $1,000,000 from Disney, and
Yeah,
there
the
you go.
production looks fucking
It
gorgeous,
looks
man.
good. It looks good. I will give
So
them that.
okay, so that's the other question, like set wise and environment wise, like do they
Everything was
really
good.
build on the cities and all that stuff that they're
Yeah.
in?
So I will say this is a brand new planet. We've never heard of this planet ever in Star
Okay.
Wars history. And I don't need to be fact checked about that. I know that for a fact. We've never heard of this story. We've never heard of this planet before. And it's like a suburban you know, from what I'm getting is like the whole planet is like just a suburban, peaceful, serene place. They have, clean streets, clean schools, clean houses. Everyone is doing well for themselves. Everyone is well off.
Okay.
It's like a upper suburban area, and these kids, there's one kid, there's one fucker that just can't be happy with that. Like all the other kids
Not
are just
enough.
happy. It's not enough. He wants more. And all these kids are kind of like spoiled and just bored. And they fuck around and find themselves in an adventure. In an adventure. That's it.
That's dope, man. That's super dope. Well, I'm excited. I haven't had the opportunity to sit down and watch it, but I am gonna watch it. Again, fresh breath of air when it comes to Star Wars. I mean, the shows that we've been getting are
And
all
it's
these like
smart.
super big.
No one can get mad at this. I want to talk about this for 1 second. This is smart. Like they made a piece of Star Wars content that no one could be really toxic about.
Yeah, because it's based on children. What are you gonna do? You're
And
gonna
not only that,
talk
but
shit
it's
about
about
kids and shit?
not only that, but it's an original story.
Yeah,
It's not
you can't really do
piggybacking.
anything with it when it comes to
Yeah,
like where it's supposed to go or what
exactly.
you're expecting. You
Not
have no expectations.
piggybacking off of a Skywalker story
Mhm,
or a Jedi story
mhm.
or anything like that. This is a brand new IP.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited, like I said, and I've been hearing nothing but great things about it. Of course, I think like pacing is something that someone said once. The pacing's a little bit weird, but I mean it's understandable. Like you're going off of nothing. You don't even know where we're going. You're not expecting like Darth Vader to show up, and you're not
Yeah.
expecting some fucking Luke Skywalker or Grogu to just pop in and fucking shoot some shit. In fact, it's like you said, it doesn't even deal with Jedi's. Like this is just normal people. Like this is like an Aladdin
Jedi's are
story in Star
mentioned.
Wars.
They are mentioned.
Oh
I will
yeah, of
say
course.
that.
They're like superheroes in that universe.
They're mentioned, and actually, they're a pretty integral part of this story so far. but
Okay.
you just don't see any. You don't see them.
Yeah.
You just know that they are out there somewhere.
Is it kind of like, in the Goonies story when he talks about One-Eyed Willie? Like, is it kind of like
Yeah,
that where he's
that
like,
is exactly what
that's a
it's
good
like.
point, right?
That is exactly what it's like. Like the Jedi are like the One-Eyed Willies
The
of
urban
this,
legends and shit.
the urban legends
That's
of
cool.
this story.
So do you think, by chance, like at the end of this series, we may get like one or two like Jedis just that pop in because of the fact that the kid probably like looks up to them like new age heroes, like it's their version of like Superman or Batman or whatnot. You think we may get like
I
a
don't
like just some cameo?
I don't know if we'll get any cameos, but I think we're 1000% gonna run into a Jedi before this show's over.
Oh
1000.
shit! Speaking of running into a Jedi, we got Trigger coming in out of nowhere. What in the
My
heck,
boy, what's
my
up?
man? What's up, Triggs?
What's going on, dude?
Yo,
Good, chilling. We are right now talking about Star Wars Skeleton Crew. Did you get a chance to watch it?
No, I haven't. Not yet.
Not yet. Hey, Elena. That's Elena. Elena's the greatest. I love her. She's amazing.
That's enough for her.
That's enough. Cut her off. No, but how's it going, man? How's it going?
Good, man. Here at work still. Gonna be here for another 4 hours.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot of time.
some of you
man.
guys close.
Yeah,
Two.
dude, you close.
Shit.
2. Yeah, it's barely 10 right now. Well, 11 for you right now. Okay, so the topics we talked about today, and if you want to add anything to it, Marvel Rivals, Craven the Hunter, Wicked, and Creature Commandos.
My wife will not stop talking and singing Wicked. It's all
Wicked's
I've been
amazing.
hearing for the past week.
Movie.
Creature Commandos actually looks kind of pleasant, so we'll be catching that. Craven, I'm gonna pirata. Let's be honest. And
Gonna free stream it.
yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know why, but I'm kind of over like Star Wars shit for a little bit, unless it's Mandalorian. So I'm kind of like holding off on Skeleton Crew for myself. And what else?
And Marvel Rivals, the video game.
I have it downloaded. Need to play.
Brian's been on that. That's his game right now. And as a matter of fact, Brian was saying that the Skeleton Crew is actually like a fresh breath of air kind of thing when it comes to the Star Wars universe.
You think so?
Yeah, Brian?
Yeah, I do. I think that it's only been for 2 episodes in so far, but I do think that it's something that that Star Wars needs. It's not like they're back. I wouldn't want to say, oh, we're back with Star
This
Wars.
is the Dave Filoni,
It's
John
not
Favreau.
it's definitely not going to tip the scale on anything. But if you just want to watch some Star Wars content and not have to worry about being toxic about it, this is going to be your show.
I think it's a good start.
What is Skeleton Crew about?
So it's basically I was telling Chris. So basically it's everything that you thought it was. It's definitely one of those Steven Spielberg coming of age Goonies type movies.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, then
Yeah,
I'll
it's one of
check it
those.
out. If
Yeah.
it's giving me, if Brian has given me the recommendation, then I'll at
True
least
that.
take the recommendation.
At least the first 2 episodes, again, is probably not going to be for everyone. But if you watch the first 2 episodes, you may like it, you may not like it. I dig it, so I'm gonna continue.
The cast was charming enough.
And
The
Jude Law's
cast,
in it, right?
Jude Law is in it. Yeah, he's definitely in it.
Yeah.
The cast,
Will-
the cast
what is
is
it?
kind of
Steve Urkel's in it.
Jaleel White is definitely
Jaleel White's in it.
show.
I forgot someone else is in it too. Someone told me that someone else is in it. I just can't remember off the top of my head.
There's a character from Ahsoka. Was it Ahsoka? I think from Ahsoka. That's
So from like the Mando universe or whatever.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's in the show. I will say
Okay.
that.
Dope. At least it has some kind of like connection to the entire like the
Yeah.
ongoing universe and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, good
Well, that's
shit.
cool. At least they're like bringing all that together. So at least we, I guess, like have a somewhat concise like answer as to like where all this falls in the Star Wars verse.
So that's what I was
you know.
telling. That's what I was telling Chris Triggs is like the entire time of me watching this show. Like unless someone tells you when this takes place, you don't know. You don't
Yeah.
know when in the timeline this falls
Fell
into.
into.
I had to watch New Rock Stars for them to tell me because that was the one thing that was driving me fucking crazy. It's like I needed to know when this was taking place, and it's taking place
In that
during the
Yeah.
Ahsoka the Ahsoka
Mando
time.
story.
Mando
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. Solid shit, dude. Solid shit. But yeah, dude, as for the rest of the things, like I have been fucking heckin' busy, dude. Heckin' busy. So like all I'm doing is just like working, and I have like zero time to like catch up on stuff. Like
Oh, I understand this.
I haven't even seen the entire third episode and fourth episode of Dune Prophecy.
Oh yeah. Because you're running that right now, right?
I know
Yeah.
that's on you, bro.
Yeah, and I know if you're not watching that, then I know you're a
Yeah,
busy
no,
guy.
especially after I was just like, look, dude, like if you don't know about the like Dune universe, there's a lot of things that are gonna go over your head that are a huge deal for them, but for you, you're gonna be like, uh-huh, why is this a thing? Like, what does that matter? And like I said, unless you knew the events prior to that, because it takes place, I think, like 100 years after the Butlerian Jihad. But
Okay.
less on that. Uh, yeah, dude, I have not done anything new. Anything new.
Well, I was gonna ask you because I know Brian hasn't had an opportunity probably yet. Did you get to watch the season finale of Arcane?
No, I still haven't caught it.
Oh man, you guys are missing out. And Brian, I'm guessing you still haven't seen
Told you
Arcane.
nobody watched that bullshit, bro.
Dude, it literally you are missing out, bro. You're missing out.
Dude, I didn't know that Ella Purnell was Jinx.
Yeah, the girl from Fallout.
Yeah.
Yeah, the main actress from Fallout, and then Hawkeye Kate Bishop is Vi.
Yeah, it was Haley Steinfeld.
Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah, and dude, speaking of Fallout, they're finally doing production on season
Season
two
two.
of Fallout. Yeah,
Macaulay Culkin's gonna play some mad genius that's in it.
man,
Yeah, I'm
dude,
excited.
I'm there for
Macaulay
Walter
Culkin back in the
Goggins,
film.
bro.
Yeah, I'm really
Walter
excited.
Goggins
I'm really
is my
excited
guy.
for Fallout. But yeah, that's about it. The only thing I wanted to ask you, nerd to nerd, with just whatever you have in front of you. I know this is like a big question. I asked Brian this earlier. How do we get Maestro Hulk in the current MCU after Captain America: Brave New World?
He's gonna have to be an incursion that happens in
Oh, that's what
Doctor
Brian's-
Strange.
It's like what Brian said. He said it had to be in Battle World.
I wouldn't even say battle world. I would say an incursion. I would use him as an incursion in Doctor
Okay.
Strange.
Like that he's already like a world that's already been conquered by him or something.
Yeah. So and they like happen to like go into his and they're doing stuff and then they leave it. Like you cannot make Maestro Hulk a main villain.
Yeah, that's a good point. Brian?
You don't have you don't have enough time, and two, like Marvel's not going to commit to making a different kind of movie in the middle of their filming schedule.
Yeah. Brian,
Yeah,
you concur? That's a good idea.
I'm saying, yeah, basically just echoing what you're just saying. They don't
Yeah.
have the time to build a character like that unless it's just a battle world situation, and that would be what I would say is the only way you can usher him in is if
Yeah,
it was just some
or
type of
make him
battle
or
world
make
thing.
him a Baron in Secret Wars.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what we said earlier, right?
Yeah, those are the only two that I see: is making him a Baron in Secret Wars, or making him an incursion world that you see while in Doctor Strange.
Okay. I can see that. Last question. First 8 minutes of Craven. Did you watch it?
I
The
have
trailer?
not. I have not, because to me, I was just like, why am I going to spend 8 minutes when I'm about to watch this beat off that dude?
That's like what Brian's like, I'm not gonna watch that shit. I'm gonna spoil it.
Yeah.
Spoil the first 8 minutes if I'm not gonna watch
Like,
it.
it's kind of like peeing before you poop. Might as well just do both at the same time.
I concur this option. Yeah. Well, Triggs, like I said, I know you're busy. I know you're a busy guy. I appreciate you jumping in. We had like a couple minutes with you. Got an opportunity to ask you. Really appreciate you. Elena, good to see you. Bye.
All right, that's enough for you.
That's enough, Elena. Yeah, but we appreciate you, brother. I'm glad that you were able to jump on for a little bit, and we hope you're having a good time and you're doing good, man.
Indeed. See you later,
Alrighty.
gentlemen. I miss y'all. I will hopefully catch you all next week.
Next
All
week,
right.
hopefully, brother. See you
Peace.
later. So, Brian, on your own merit, what do you give the Skeleton Crew based off the first 2 episodes?
First 2 episodes, I'm digging it. I'll probably give it like maybe like a 7.5. It's good.
Okay, good stuff, guys. You heard it here first. 7.5 for Brian. Must watch. Go check it out. I'm gonna go be checking it out. But I'm gonna be watching Star Wars tonight. I'm gonna watch the Skeleton Crew. As a matter of fact, Brian, I got to ask you again. I'm gonna plead with you that I hope you get the opportunity. I want you to watch Arcane. I want you to watch it. You can watch it with your young one too, because it's not a bad show.
Okay.
And it's very good. The animation's amazing. The story is top quality, and it's got emotional content. It's going to drag you in. I 100% think you're going to be sold on it. The game sucks. I don't really care for League of Legends as a video game, but the story that they've created for Arcane is a must watch. I'm telling you, it's a must watch. It's not based really. It just has these characters, but it's opening up the lore of the story. This is very much going to be a lore based thing, and highly recommended. Super highly recommended. If you get a chance, check it out. And that goes for anybody out there. If you have not seen Arcane season 2 dropped. It's the last of the series for Arcane. So you have season 1 and season 2. It introduces a bunch of great characters. The animation is it belongs in a museum. The soundtrack itself is so amazing. It's got great artists, great people in it, and yeah, it's highly recommended. I give that. And you know me, Brian. I'm not a positive person when it comes to this. That's like a 9.5 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Like straight, like 100% through and through. Every episode is like a banger, dude. Every episode. I highly recommend if you get a chance. But guys, for you to go out, check it out if you haven't seen it. But other than that, Brian, what else do we got coming on, man? We got a whole week of life coming up. Do you have anything coming up that's interesting?
That's interesting. I mean, honestly, I don't. I have a few things to do next weekend. Just hanging out with some friends and just relaxing, man. I've been working a lot recently in the past, couple, months and years. I'm just gonna relax, bro. I'm gonna relax and just take it everything day by day, man. That's about it. How about you, bro? What's going on with you?
We got so recently Thanksgiving was my last day contractual with the gym that I was a part of, that I had my school in. So right now we're up in the air. I'm taking a month off for December to try to hopefully find a new location that I could take my class to and open up and do a bunch of good stuff with. I'm talking to a good group of guys that are all interested in trying to help build something with me when it comes to building an entrepreneurship, a gym or whatnot. So hoping, praying to God or, Odin, if I need to, for some type of good luck to pop on our way. And then I hopefully get to open up in January, and that would be a dream come true. So nice. Hopefully that's the thing. If not, I'm going to keep pushing until we get something going on, find a location and keep working hard. So other than that, life's life, baby. So Brian, thank you so much. I appreciate you when you get the opportunity to come on. I know that you're a busy guy and you sometimes have to work nights. So I appreciate you when you got your free time. And thank you for joining me tonight, man. Hopefully we get you again next week. Hopefully the schedule brings it on. As a matter of fact, hopefully, since we do have a Star Wars series coming out, maybe we could type Mike Betancourt, bring him on the show and talk about the new Star Wars.
I like that. I would love to see what he feels about this show.
Yeah, because this is something that's brand new and something different. So it'd be something kind of interesting. And of course, like he gave us a reach out to another guy who has a pretty big following on TikTok. Maybe we could talk to him, Dyad in the Force, and bring him on, and he can kind of talk to us some Star Wars knowledge and drop a lot of stuff. The dude is very knowledgeable. Awesome. So hopefully we get that opportunity. Everybody that's out there that is with us, I want to say thank you very much for joining us again on this Sunday. Sorry that we had to take Sunday off last week, but just, life catches up to us, and time is the thing that, hurts us the most. But we appreciate every one of you, all of you who support us and share our stuff and like our videos and stuff. We appreciate every one of you. To all our extraordinary listeners, thank you guys so much for joining us again on this Sunday. We'll see you guys again here on the Average Boys Podcast next Sunday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Right. But for you, I know it's different, Brian. It's like an hour later, but I appreciate you. You know that, man. So thank you guys very much. And we hope you guys have a great week. Kick ass and do your thing. So laters.
Peace.